Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. It feels like a loopy week a little bit. We're coming off a drunk Sunday of football, and I mean drunk. The NFL had the most last-second game-winning score finishes in NFL history this weekend, and then we go into a game-winning last-second score-type finish last night.
If Sunday was drunk, last night was a blackout.
What did we just watch? First of all, what are the Denver Broncos? What are the Buffalo Bills? Who is Josh Allen? Why is there a tight end masquerading as Josh Allen?
They were playing basketball for a little bit. James Cook literally dribbling a football down the field for a 45-yard gain.
That would have been the 5th turnover for the Broncos.
And they only scored 6 points off a turnover.
I know. And what's incredible, by the way, so Broncos have 4 turnovers. They only get 6 points out of it. The Bills have 1 turnover. They get 7 points. So somehow we saw 2 really bad teams have a really cool game.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Chaos, fever dream, bring it on. That was my favorite primetime game of the year.
Whatever it is that Josh Allen is missing with Brian Daboll, considering how bad things are going in New York, do you think the Bills' only plan is they're praying that somehow he gets a $75 million buyout like Jimbo Fisher and comes back to the Buffalo Bills to be their offensive coordinator for free?
How about be their head coach?
Well, shoot. I mean, look, Sean McDermott, I don't think is a bad head coach, but I do think that he is operating under, or I should say, he is leading a team that has a quarterback who's shown the most regression in the National Football League this year.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre, to be quite honest. That offense not great. Russell Wilson not looking too bad. I think he had 197 yards.
Oh, that's Troy Aikman. He looks totally fixed. He's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, look, that first touchdown to Sutton was a bit of a prayer as he tossed that thing up and it floated over in the end zone. Sutton, unbelievable, dragging those toes to get that touchdown.
Oh, I know.
That was fantastic.
ESPN, whatever their stat cast, where they give you percentage of
right.
So since they started rating percentages or probability that a catch can actually occur, that was the most difficult catch that has ever been caught in that StatCast era.
Yeah, it was only like 3.5% probability. It was so low. It was incredible.
I'll bet you it was a higher percentage to be intercepted because of the amount of time that ball stayed in the air.
Right.
There were so many things against them, but look, we talked about it. I believe it was to lead the show yesterday, or came up in our first conversation yesterday about the Niners' demolition of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sometimes you get lucky, and that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as for the most part, you're not getting lucky. And for the most part, you're completing passes, you're throwing the ball accurately, your receivers know where to be, your offensive line protects you. And overall, the Denver Broncos have done a much better job of that with Russell Wilson, and Sean Payton may have gotten this team to turn around, especially after a dismal start. What were they, 1-3 to start this season?
That is correct. Yeah. And now they've won 3 in a row. It's their first win on Monday night in the past 7 times they've played on a Monday Night Football game. So, I mean, there were some bright spots there. The bummer is they don't look great to me. I mean, this is an offense that won the game because your defense didn't let the Bills stay on the field. I mean, that's it. I mean, otherwise, with all these turnovers, you should have won by 2-3 touchdowns.
This score should have been 48-22 instead of 24-20.
By the way, your kicker shanked 3 kicks.
I know.
3 kicks, 2 extra points, and the winning field goal. Luckily, the Bills.
Now, I got it specifically for this.
I love the laugh track. I want the laugh track to stay forever now.
It's going to stay for this conversation because the Buffalo Bills get flagged for 12 men on the field. And I had 2 takeaways for this. The first takeaway is the obvious one. How the hell do you get flagged for 12 men on the field, especially a special team situation?
Well, I can tell you how. Twice the Denver Broncos decided, you know what we're going to do is we're going to run a play and let that clock run to 0 as we're rushing your field goal unit out on the team and praying they can get set up in time. They did it right before the half. They did it right at the end of the game. The Bills couldn't get set.
Yeah, Sean Payton, look, there are problems. There are big problems still with Denver. However, They're 4-5, and they just got to win on the road in Buffalo
Against the
on
Bills.
Monday Night Football. Like, that's a big deal.
It's the Bills. The Bills are supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. By the way, you also beat the Chiefs.
And the Bills might not make the playoffs. And this might be the reason they don't. Like, if you look at the standings right now, they're not in the postseason if the postseason were to start today.
Oh, yeah.
This loss at home on Monday Night Football against a team that allowed 70 points one time this season could be the reason they get kept out of the postseason.
I said it yesterday. I have the Bills on fraud alert. There is something very, very wrong with Josh Allen. I don't.
Well, that siren's getting louder now, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's blaring. Instead of a laugh track, it's a woo. It's really bad in Buffalo. And look, again, a quarterback solves a lot.
They charged that game.
I was going to say, the Denver Broncos, as bad as they look, I mean, I understand they got to win. I understand they've gotten 3 in a row, but they don't look great. They have the same record as the Chargers.
Yeah, but the Broncos aren't really supposed to be that great.
Absolutely.
The Buffalo Bills are supposed to be pretty damn good.
Absolutely. This
Can I
is
give you
where
guys-
it's mind-blowing.
Real quick, my second takeaway from that last second play last night. It's really impressive that the refs can do that. Can like do that count and keep that going on every single play.
Well, so one guy has to do it every single play. Like the first thing, like
Is that his job?
Yeah, like they literally have a checklist of things that they must do before. Now they'll miss it sometimes, which is hysterical because I think I was involved in a play where there were 14 men on the field one time.
Well, there was a play earlier in the NFL season. It may have been with the Buffalo Bills. I don't quote me on that. It's not exact, but there was a play where a team had 10 men on the field.
No, I know exactly what you're thinking of. It was actually for back-to-back plays at the goal line when Ohio State beat Notre Dame.
That's what it was. You're right.
So Notre Dame's goal line defense went out on the field missing a defensive tackle.
Whoops.
And then Ohio State realized it and said, okay, we're going to run the ball over our left guard because there's no defensive tackle. And they scored. Buckeyes win.
When you were playing the NFL and you were involved in a play that had 14 men on the field, was the play blown dead before it started?
No.
Did it help with 14 men on the field?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Like so I remember I didn't see the play because as an offensive lineman we're on the sideline. I remember after somebody goes, they pulled me into a film room. I'm walking by like the defensive backs or something. It might have been Eric Weddle or somebody. They're like, you have got to see this. And the play goes off and they're like, what do you think of this new defense we're running? And I didn't even realize that at first. I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, okay. And it was like they stopped a run. It was like an outside zone. I'm like, I think he's lost his mind. Like, why is he showing me this? I'm looking, he keeps playing it over and over again. I go, oh my God, how many linebackers do you guys have on the field? I'm like, oh my God, how many defensive backs are out there? I was like, I thought that was a referee. He goes, nope, that's not. That's Jaleel Adai, and he is coming down to make the stop with 5 other defensive backs. I was like, so of course you guys are in nickel defense. He goes, that would be impossible because we have our goal line set of linebackers out there. So anyways, yeah, it can happen. Look, people make mistakes, and certainly the Bills are not immune to that. You put 12 men on the field, team gets an opportunity to kick a field goal. But the problem is they are on the outside looking in. And so it is going to become one of those situations where you are keeping count of these moments. If this happens to the first-ranked Chiefs or the first-ranked Philadelphia Eagles and it's a one-off, maybe somebody brings it up at the end of the year, but most likely not. You know, when they're enjoying a bye week while the rest of the other teams and the wild card teams are playing each other, nobody's going to be reviewing that. Mm-hmm. But if you're on the outside looking in, that's when the McDermott hot seat talk starts.
And it's a special teams unit. I'm assuming, I don't know this for a fact, I'm assuming that's the same unit that has been going out for field goal block attempts every single time.
Injuries happen. They had injuries in their secondary. Look, if things change in game. And so again, I'm not making excuses. This isn't rocket science. It's like basically if you're too deep and your first team special teams unit knows when somebody's hurt, then everything's fine. No, that should never happen.
Now, whose fault is it?
Well, it's your coordinator for not counting. It's your kicker. By the way, kickers and punters, oftentimes they count. And if there's the wrong number, they have to call timeout if you have one. Like, you'd rather call the timeout than have
so
the
it's
penalty.
like the Bills kicker
Or
responsibility.
excuse me, not the kicker. Because it was the defense. You have to have a linebacker or a safety actually count the players on the field. So you have a couple lines of defense, so to speak, of having of having something like that never happen. But systems fail. We know that in our own lives. Like, it's like, hey, wait, you didn't remember to get the kid? No, I thought you said you were going to get the kid. Over to the elementary school, you get a call from the office like, is anybody picking up your child? You're like, yes, for the love of God, is he okay? And then you get there and he's just smashing Nutella and pretzels. He's having the time of his life. But yeah, sometimes things slip through the cracks. You can have a great system in place, but the problem is, again, Fletch, to your point, if the Bills miss the playoffs, all of these moments, they get recited.
Yeah. So great.
Holy
this is the best day of my life. What was that? It was Friday. We were talking about this particular game, and I had mentioned the Bills that, hey, how long before we see Stephon Diggs and the Jeff Allen breakup here as things start to deteriorate?
Jeff Allen, promotions director?
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. Man,
he now plays for the Bills. Did I say Jeff Allen?
You did.
Let's stick with that. Okay.
Cabana Boy Jeff?
Cabana Boy Jeff is now a Bill.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm going to try to get him on the show.
Yeah.
So,
do you know he also has a mini lander at Miniland San Diego?
Which he's pointing.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
He's got the finger guns.
Would you be referring to Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills?
No, let's stick with Jeff Allen.
Okay.
But yes, Josh Allen.
Are you sure you don't mean Tim Allen?
What?
The Toolman Taylor? Ding, 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 ding.
Hey, TD, real quick.
It's hard for me not to go down this road. That's all I'm saying.
Who's the Colts running back?
But I don't know.
Jonathan Taylor?
Thomas,
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. He hung up his life of acting so he could hold out and get a bigger contract with the Colts.
Did
Anyways,
he get in trouble with the law lately? That was a different one.
No. Different Jones.
That was no. There was a home improvement kid.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
It wasn't
JTT.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I think it was the one that nobody ever remembers his name, who had the goiter removed, maybe. Anyways, look,
Sorry.
the point is,
TD, where you were going was actually really fascinating with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
Well, yeah, because they were gonna. I was asking when the breakup starts, and it started last night apparently.
Well, Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Diggs' brother, Trayvon Diggs is the cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys, who's injured. He actually is missing the rest of the season with an ACL. But he hopped on X last night and put out a tweet that said, "Man, 14 got to get up out of there."
Where there's smoke, there's fire, boys.
And so what we know about Stephon Diggs and Trayvon Diggs, they are incredibly close. Spend the entire offseason together, either living together or at least training together every single day. There's been conversations between those two, is the jump that I am going to make speculatively.
Of course. Look, who are your confidants when you play in the NFL? I can promise you it's other NFL players, right? So if I had a cousin in the NFL, that's who I would trust the most.
Jeff Ornberger.
Yeah, Jeff, the tool man, Ornberger. Everybody knows Jeff. Hey,
Jeff the tool man.
So me and Jeff, we
He's
were
actually in the adult film industry.
Yeah. But still, it's a performance-based industry, so I would trust him. But if I had a cousin in the NFL, I would. It's an endurance sport. I would talk to him all the time. Drink your pineapple juice. But if I had a brother, especially, I mean, these two grew up in the same house. They went to the same high school. They know all the same, so that's the guy you talk to. That's the guy you confide in. So if Trayvon's saying that, it comes from somewhere. It's not from nothing. And also, by the way, this reminds me, because you mentioned the breakup. When does it start? The movie The Breakup with Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston.
Right?
Ooh, great scene in that movie.
Oh,
Which one? The PlayStation?
Yeah. Yeah, when she goes out to get a Diet Coke.
Oh, yeah.
She could do it. Look.
What?
Butt cleavage.
Oh, butt cleavage.
Can we say booty?
Oh, yeah, booty cleavage.
Booty cleavage.
Booty cleavage.
That was Paige Sporanic. She put up a photograph on the interwebs, the Instagram page, and she said booty cleavage.
We should also start putting up pictures of booty cleavage.
I said that no matter what we post, we should do hashtag booty cleavage.
Well, and also just start wearing oversized sweaters where just the
just the bottom of the buttocks is peeking out,
like the copper tone baby.
Sorry, I did it again, guys. Rich, you were making a good point.
Okay. So if Vince Vaughn, Jennifer Aniston, I want you to want to do the dishes. You want me to want to do the dishes? I don't want to do the dishes. That's what this is. Like even in a loss, even in a game where Stephon Diggs doesn't have a lot of catches, he wants you to want him to be more involved. Like they threw it to him 5 times. It's just not enough. Like he is going to, if anything, he's going to turn on the field, film after this game, after they leave the field or whenever they get back to it tomorrow or today. He's going to rewind every single play where he was wide open when he felt like he had his defensive back beat. And it's just going to, it's the same thing. It's like, gosh, the dishes are in the sink overnight. I asked you if you could do it. Or I just said to you, just notice when the sink is full and just do I don't want to do the dishes. I know you don't want to do the dishes, but nobody wants to do it. So even if you don't want to throw to Diggs, you have to throw to Diggs. Otherwise, this is going to break up.
Perfect example, the Dallas Cowboys with CeeDee Lamb. He wasn't getting targeted as much early on in the season. The last 3 games, he's literally been targeted like 15 times a game.
Yep.
So it's if you start making any sort of noise and your quarterback responds, well, the Dallas Cowboys having a little success since they've started throwing to one of the best wide receivers in the league. He just broke an NFL record for most consecutive games with 10+ catches and 150+ yards. All of a sudden, that relationship is all hunky-dory between Dak and CeeDee.
Zachary Ty Bryan.
That was who it was. It was the older brother.
The older brother.
2-3 name guys.
Yeah, that's weird. Also, Zachary Ty Bryan does not ring a bell to me at all. Like, did we never speak of him?
No, he was kind of a jerk to JTT.
Well, yeah, he was kind of a jerk in real life too. He got arrested for felony assault.
Look, we don't know exactly what happened.
We don't know the deets.
Could we read some of the deets? Just give me the first line of the article from People Magazine here.
Bryan was charged July 28th with fourth degree. That's way far away, right? That's fourth degree felony assault. Oh wait, it gets worse. 3rd degree robbery and harassment, though his attorney advised people to withhold judgment until they see what the actual facts are.
Things are going well.
So what's up with JTT?
Nothing. He's perfect.
Is he still active?
He plays for the Colts.
That's right. Yeah, big deal.
Text we got from the 720, Rich, this backing up one of your points. When I returned punts in college, I always had to count 10+ myself every single time. They would put more or less guys out in practice at the time to test and make sure we caught it.
Yeah.
So there'd be sneak attacks in practice from coaches.
Well, yeah. So that deep man on the field goal kick, the guy who is basically there if a ball
number
gets
12
halfway
last night.
Blocked and dribbled over. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, number 12.
When Troy Aikman did the little Telecaster afterwards, the guy who was number 12
10, 11, 12
is the guy who's supposed to be counting.
It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. The problem. It's me.
Did you see that when the Broncos lined up? I think it was the first half. When I think it was 4th down. They lined up. They were going to go for a field goal, but then it was a fake field goal, and it looked like they were going to do a tush push on Riley Dixon, the kicker.
Yeah,
I wanted to see that.
Me too.
I mean, so much.
God bless America.
We got a text from the 913 here saying, Ben, you let this happen, wrangle these two in. Didn't know Brian Long was listening to our show again. This one's on you. We'll start off with Monday Night Football here.
Brian Long?
The Denver Broncos win into Buffalo. They win 24-22. This officially puts the Buffalo Bills outside of the playoff window. They already were, but now this makes it tough for them to get back in. College hoops, the Aztecs will welcome Long Beach into Viejas Arena tonight. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off. John and Jim will be on the air from Viejas Arena starting at 3. Pre-game coverage with John Schaefer and myself will begin at 6 o'clock as we walk you up to tip-off between the Aztecs and Long Beach, whose name is, guys?
The Gauchos?
No, that's Santa Barbara.
Okay.
But Long Beach State, their baseball team is the Dirtbags.
The Dirtbags.
The rest of their teams are the 49ers.
Oh, interesting.
For some reason. No one really knows why.
It was a drunken pick when they were choosing names.
Dirtbags, Niners, whatever. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Also, do you remember?
Same, simpatico.
A few weeks ago, there was that story about Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes heading to UCLA and a bunch of stuff got robbed out of the locker room.
Yeah.
Details have emerged, boys.
Uh-oh.
And this one gets juicy specifically for our show. And you might wonder, well,
that's
how does
true.
that work? There's no connections to UCLA or Colorado on this show, but there is connections to Beaumont High School on this show, which is in Riverside County.
This one hits close to home.
Yeah.
Travis Dale is the most famous alumni out of that high school.
Actually, I think there was a guy that was in Boys in the Hood.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Boys
there
in the hood.
were a group of Beaumont High School seniors on their official visit to UCLA on a recruiting trip for the football team.
Okay.
That group of Beaumont high schoolers are the ones who stole everything out of the Buffalo's locker room.
That sounds like it's on par with my alma mater.
Travis Dale, are you a thief? Are you a thief?
Listen, what I find most shocking about this story is that any Beaumont High School alumni would go to UCLA for any reason. Everybody knows you go straight to a community college, which is fine.
Yeah,
it's good.
So what's interesting about all this is now you're talking about potentially minors who are responsible for this. This actually takes the sting off a little, because I think a lot of the Colorado football players were thinking like, yeah, we're disrespected here. It's just a bunch of dumb kids making a really bad decision. And by the way, potentially getting whatever scholarships they were offered from UCLA yanked.
Yeah, UCLA is probably no longer recruiting them.
Oh gosh. Well,
nor are the Colorado Buffaloes.
Depends on how talented they are.
That's
Depends on how talented they are, because I could see Colorado actually, like, if UCLA drops some of the scholarship players, be like, well, listen, like, they learned a really hard lesson. Coach Prime goes, and you know what? They need to find God, and I think I could guide them in that direction. And one of them's a 5-star receiver. So anyways,
I don't know out of Beaumont.
That's
TD, how was your football team when you were there?
My senior year,
Yeah,
1-9.
Okay,
Yeah,
were you on it?
pretty good. No. I was on the tennis team that no one knew about.
Booty cleavage.
I was on. Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah, that's
Did
that's
you have
why.
to wear the
I had to wear a skirt
with the shorts under the
I wore
skirt?
it well. Come on now. Come
You
on.
have the legs for it.
I got in a fight with the football coach, and he told me that I should go play tennis.
And so you did.
And he said a lot of derogatory statements, and so I went and played tennis. How about that?
What are some of the derogatory statements?
I don't think I could say those on air anymore. I would be canceled. He's dead now, so
Yeah.
look who won.
Yeah. Take that, Coach Krumenacker. All right. So speaking of coaches, Brady Hoke stepped down yesterday. He is no longer the head football coach of the San Diego State Aztec team. He will finish out the season, but he's retiring at the conclusion of the season. So 2 days after Thanksgiving, when the Aztecs take the field for the final time this season, senior night against Fresno State, it's going to be Coach Hoke's last time leading the Aztecs out there. He's going to step away from football. So we have an update to pass along on the other side. Also, we can start looking forward, I guess, in some ways, and start thinking about who the next coach might be for the Aztecs after we celebrate Coach's career. So we'll get to that on the other side. But first, I got to say something. We talk about Travis's neck a lot, TD's neck on this show.
Look at that thing. It's glistening.
But look at Fletcher. Like he kind of looks like a orange with a toothpick in the bottom of it.
like no neck at all, gigantic head.
Yeah.
Orange.
Like I'm saying,
look, I mean, like large head,
like one of those giant lollipops,
right?
Like spiral,
right?
Delicious, really small stem.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, your bone structure in your head much larger than the bone structure in your neck. We would have known prior to this SDFatLoss.com.
It's very true.
But you've lost all this weight, so now we can see the true size of your proportions.
Your melon. And it's a pretty large melon.
It's majestic.
Yeah.
It's like a
Thank you.
I mean, it looks really good.
Lots of question marks following that transition, but I'll just kind of take it from here, Richie.
Compliment.
Go ahead and just sit back a little bit.
Because everybody knows a giant neck is horrific.
Yeah, bad stuff, but good stuff. Give yourself a free consultation over at sdfatloss.com. Call the number 858-665-3211. Richie talked about looking forward, like we're able to look forward to who the Aztecs' next head coach will be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, about 4 months ago, the three of us looked forward and decided we didn't want our future to be fat, because
Oh.
our past has been fat.
It's got real deep and dark.
And when Travis was
Punctuated.
told to go join the tennis team, it was because he was too fat.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it. So Wade and Chloe, they also saw that we were too fat, and they told us that if you want to start losing weight, we have the secret for you to lose up to 1 pound of fat every single day. Well, in a lot of cases, the three of us were losing 2-3 pounds of fat every single day during the 60-day reduction phase. So if you want to get on over to sdfatloss.com and start losing weight at an insane rate like the three of us did, give them a call, 858-665-3211. It's a free consultation. Just ask for Miss Chloe. Tell them your 3 favorite not fat fatzos told them that you should call them. So 858-665-3211, sdfatloss.com.
All right. What do you look for in a new coach? We'll answer those questions on the other side. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
What are you looking for in the next head coach that'll be on the Mesa heading up Aztecs football? Text the show 70470. Start your message with team. We'll read them on the other side. This update is presented by Staples Store. Starting off with Monday Night Football here, the Denver Broncos went into Buffalo and won 24-22. Congratulations, TD. But the way they won was insane. Seconds left on the clock. Denver misses the go-ahead field goal, appearing to lose the game. However, the Bills had 12 men on the field. So the penalty moves the Broncos forward, and Will Lutz makes the shorter attempt. Broncos win 24-22. Bills put their playoff hopes in a tricky situation here. College Hoops, Aztecs welcoming Long Beach into Viejas Arena tonight for a 7 o'clock tip-off. John and Jim will be on the air from Viejas Arena at 3 o'clock. Pre-game coverage with myself and John Schaefer will begin at 6. Staples Holiday Deals means amazing savings for the holiday season on hot tech like laptops, game system, earbuds, and more. Right now, save up to $350 on select PCs. In-store only. Offer ends 11/18. See an associate for details. Have yourself a merry little holiday deal at Staples.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760, and we have a chance for you to win $1,000 every single day. Just listen for the keyword, then enter that keyword at sportssd.com. It's presented by Loan Pronto. Stop paying insane rates on your credit cards. Loan Pronto can help you tap the equity in your home so you can be credit card debt-free in less than a week. LoanPronto.com. It's LoanPronto.com. Busy day here on the show because we've got Dr. David Chow joining us a little bit later. We're going to get some injury updates and see how that's going to affect your team, maybe your fantasy team, maybe your favorite team. Also, we got some giveaways. A 4-pack of tickets to Legoland, California. Legoland Holiday is here, presented by Hallmark Channel. Celebrated November 18th through January 7th with festive characters, shows, food, snow, and more. Visit Legoland.com/California for the deets. And we got a pair of tickets to Aztecs versus the Long Beach State 49ers.
I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe dirtbags.
Yeah, we don't know. That's for tomorrow night. Or no, yeah, tomorrow night? Tonight.
Tip off
Viejas
7
Arena.
p.m. and pregame at 6:30.
Okay.
6.
6, okay.
So on home games, John and Jim are out at Viejas Arena.
Okay,
so
cool.
instead of throwing to national for 30 minutes, we just keep it live.
Love it.
Live.
Love it.
So
love
John and I will do a full hour starting at 6 o'clock. Come by, give us a fist bump. Tell me how skinny I look.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Shower him with praise.
Guy looks like like one of those lollipops you get at the fair.
What was it last year? People were yelling ass pirate.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
You know what?
That's right.
Do
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah. If you love Fletch and you love this show, when you see him out at Viejas Arena, shout ass pirate at him. I think it was because it was a naughty word generator Wednesday.
It was. I would rather you shout out booty cleavage because this show is going to make that a thing.
Hashtag booty cleavage. Speaking of which,
this is where it starts.
we think we know who the next head coach of the San Diego State
right.
football team should be.
Yep.
This is Travis Dale's opinion.
So no,
Listen,
this is all of our opinions.
I don't know.
This is-
I remove myself from
no,
this.
this is group
Are
thing.
you out of your mind? Are you outside of your mind?
So listen, as a show, we have decided
That is
together 100%, the three of us on board. In fact, 33.33333% share the whole way to the bank with this great idea. Now, I'm sure San Diego State and their athletic department, they're going to hire some firm of headhunters who are going to go out and find all of the available candidates
Don't need it.
who have interest in a head coaching job on the Mesa.
Dumb
And that
idea.
is a coveted job.
Mhm.
However,
Mhm.
allow us to
JD
introduce...
Wicker did say yesterday on John and Jim, this is an extremely coveted job that a lot of people have already reached out to him about.
No question about it.
Mhm.
No question about it. Look, when you're having a tough season, you're going to get phone calls. And
And with the location, with the fact that the two other prominent Southern California teams are no longer playing in a West Coast conference, San Diego State becomes a really eye-popping job for a lot of people who are out of work right
I'm glad
now.
he said eye-popping.
Popping is what I thought as well.
God, I
yeah,
hate you both
I
so
thought the
much.
exact same thing.
913, you are so right.
What?
This is on me.
No,
So
you said it.
When you're looking at a candidate, a lot of times you're looking at experience, right? A lot of times you're looking at somebody who looks the part. A lot of times you're looking at somebody who's, been there before. Sometimes though, you throw in a wild card.
Yep.
Sometimes you go the road less traveled, but you still have some familiar ties to the community. I don't know, maybe an alumnus of the
There we go.
San Diego State University community.
What?
And we are looking at our next candidate, and it is Paige Sporanic.
That's it.
Now,
I mean,
she
done and done.
She's a golf influencer on the internet.
Okay.
She played for a year or two in the LPGA before they started giving her crap for some of her outfits.
Sure. Which, by the way, are
Why?
on full display on her Instagram account. I'm just saying this. If you want to win in the recruiting game, Paige Spiranek.
You want to win you're going to have more televised games than anyone on the planet.
Ratings will be off the charts.
Is there another female head coach?
Nope.
No.
Probably not in history.
Nah, there you go.
So you're making history.
Okay.
You're bringing in an alumnus. Okay, you're bringing in somebody who has an enormous following on Instagram.
You want to sell some tickets to Snapdragon Stadium?
Go on.
Paige Spiranek, your head coach.
Yeah.
Booty cleavage.
Booty cleavage.
Booty cleavage.
Done.
Booty cleavage. You tell me where the problem lies, Fletch. You tell me where the problem lies.
He's going to say things like, she's never coached football. Racist.
Well,
I mean,
when you start going down the list, I mean, experience is probably number one on the list of things you'd like in a new head coach, right?
I'm going to look it up right now.
New,
I'm just going to search.
Awesome offensive ideas is probably second up on the list.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, some of the names we saw thrown around yesterday. Cliff Kingsbury. Does that pique your guys' interest at all?
Listen, if he starts showing off some booty cleavage on Instagram, maybe I'll consider it.
Listen, I just typed in how to coach on YouTube. Football was the next word.
Can't
to
be
bring
that
up.
hard.
Yeah,
Honestly, can't be that hard.
I mean, there are thousands of videos here.
Dude,
thousands.
So you get her on YouTube. You know what? Shoot, sign her up for an account. And you have her subscribe to a couple of those pages. So at least she knows how to say things like, yeah, no, we're running that 2 deep shell down there on a plus 40. We knew they were going to take a shot, but also you want to get pressure. So, we sent the slot and we were hopeful, and it got home.
So Penix has been pretty good at quarterback this year for the Washington Huskies, right?
Ahead,
Their offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb, he's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
This list provided by...
How much cooler, though? How much
Instagram.
cooler would it be after every press conference, instead of hearing, let's ride, you heard booty cleavage.
Booty cleavage.
How about Missouri offensive coordinator Kirby Moore? That's a recognizable
Ryan
name.
Grubb. I'm looking these guys up on Instagram. So far, Ryan Grubb, I don't think has an account.
UCLA defensive coordinator Deonton Lynn, former teammate of Rich Ornberger's, and USC analyst Cliff Kingsbury.
Look at Ryan Grubb, though.
I'm looking at Ryan Grubb right now.
He's got a gray goatee.
And he's a handsome fella?
Well, I mean, it's not. Yeah, he's a handsome fella, but it's all selfies. And not a single one of these has any booty cleavage.
How about Nebraska defensive coordinator Tony White?
Also, why is he looking down on me like this in his picture at
he actually
University
gives
of
off Dan
Washington?
Campbell vibes.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little Dan
bit.
Campbell.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
Deonton Lynn, Rich, I don't know him, but that is a popular name.
Danton
That's
Lynn,
floating around here when you're talking about San Diego State's next job.
defensive coordinator with UCLA. I played with him at Penn State. So great guy, by the way, like a wonderful human being, really smart guy. And UCLA, to their credit, has had an excellent defensive year. They can't play offense, really, but it's excellent defense.
But you can throw out names all you want, and there's plenty of articles that have already done that. But I guess what I would ask this show, you, Rich, you, TD.
Paige Spiranek. It doesn't matter what you ask.
I'm asking you, Rich.
Okay.
When you're looking at the next hire for San Diego State, what type of coach are you looking for? Offensive, young, new? Like
all those. You can check every box with everything you just threw out there.
Yeah, because Paige is offensive to certain people. Like they come after this, like, fatherless activity. No, stop it. Young, nailed
I
it.
hate you.
Yeah,
both
what?
So much.
Hang on.
Athletic? Is that what you said?
Yeah, she plays golf.
Yeah. What else did you ask for?
Booty cleavage.
An influencer.
Okay.
Of many.
But you know what? Actually, this does wind us back to the number one chief need for any university who's trying to lure a new head coach to their program. Recruiting. So, it sounds a little bit ridiculous talking about Instagram and talking about social media when you're talking about head coaching, but guess what? That's where recruits are. You need to meet these players where they are. So the next head coach needs to be on social media. The next head coach needs to have an idea of how to recruit these young players and connect to these young players. Now, I'm not saying Brady Hoke doesn't do that. Look, his staff, there's plenty of young guys on his staff who use social media. But there's something happening in college football now. And you're seeing it with perfect example, what Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, has done at Colorado. He's changed the game.
And you have to play that game now.
Yes.
You really do. So, and I love Coach Hoke. I think he's an excellent guy. I think he's a really talented coach. What I think he struggles with, and he's been open about this, is he doesn't love the fact that the college landscape has shifted towards NIL, towards all these things. You need a coach who not only embraces it, but loves it next. Like, I really do. And I also, to the community of San Diego, I think a little bit of
I thought you were like telling your inner mind to go to the next thought. Next. Next page.
Hit the typewriter.
It's like, what happened?
No.
Yeah.
But the community of San Diego, I
Wow.
think it's time that we start embracing Aztec Link and start embracing the Mesa Foundation, because the next level of getting San Diego State football to the next level
Page brand.
is NIL.
Thank you.
And is getting these recruits to come in and see, oh, there's an option for me to make some serious dough here. So that's on us more than anyone else.
Imagine the line of recruits.
Dude.
If Paige Baranek is the coach.
I mean, okay, look, I know we started this joking about this a little bit,
but
but
now it kind of seems
the more we flesh it out, all of a sudden,
I don't think that's the word.
booty cleavage.
I think Cliff Kingsbury would actually be a great hire here.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to have to pay to get him, but I think that checks a lot of the boxes
Okay,
you
fine.
were talking about.
Okay,
Rich.
Cliff Kingsbury, yeah, get him.
Like, that's like-
I'm fine with it.
It's like a number 2.
Let's go
solid
ahead
number 2.
and make Sporanic one of his coordinators, offense or defense.
You know what? It's a good call. That'll
Okay.
work.
You too.
I mean, it's not as as life changing.
coach offensive.
And I generally
football.
don't advocate for the splashy hire, but I do think in college football now you almost have to make the splashy hire.
Dude, there are so many videos on how to be an offensive coordinator on YouTube. It'll make your head spin.
What if you just? I mean, even like the special teams coach.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I mean that would work.
I mean,
As long as she can
extra
count to
special.
11, because you can't have 12 men on the field.
we
Are
learned
you,
that
are
last
you
night.
saying that Paige Baranek is not smart enough to count to 11?
Not at all.
Racist.
What? Yeah.
I hate
What
you
is
both.
happening?
I don't
so
even.
Ah,
Okay,
anyways,
yeah.
I have now clicked in the cart online here. I've got a sweatshirt. I've got season tickets on hold. As soon as they make the announcement, I'm in.
I'll tell you what. If Paige Sporanic is invited to be the next head coach of the
Mhm.
San Diego State Aztec football team, I'm going to do the first thing. Mission 1 is introduce her to Dr. Jordan Colby. Okay, because everybody needs a great dentist,
True.
and he's my dentist.
True.
OceanViewDental.net.
And her smile is a disaster.
No, actually, it's one of the best ones we've ever seen. That's part of the reason why she needs to be the next head coach of the San Diego State Aztec football team, even though she's never coached football. If you are looking for a world-class dentist where all procedures are done in the same office, state-of-the-art technology, look no further. Dr. Jordan Colby of Ocean View Dental can give you teeth in a day plus a winning smile. So this is what happened to me. I needed a tooth extraction. I needed 3 implants put in. I saw my old dentist, and I was told it was going to be a 2-year process. It was at least going to be a year and a half, if not a 2-year process. It was brutal to try to imagine where to get started on this. And then the way it was described was awful as well. But Dr. Colby explained my procedure the way he was going to do it. He showed me my digital image of what the procedure entailed, and I felt 100% confident and comfortable. I really did. His motto is, no matter your situation, he can help you create a confident, healthy smile. His advanced specialty is implants. And after doing my homework and meeting with Dr. Colby, I trusted him 100%. I want you to trust your dentist. A lot of people don't, right? A lot of people really dread going in for dental appointments. I don't go for dental appointments anymore. I go for dentist visits. I'm visiting, it feels like, with family. And that's the sort of vibe he's created around his office. He has the latest advanced dental technology, including digital x-rays, 3T CT imaging, dental lasers, Invisalign veneers, and so much more at Ocean View Dental. Again, you'll be treated like family. And that's what we need when we go to any business like that. So if you're looking for dental implants, if you're looking for fillings, you got a couple of cavities, if you just need your routine teeth cleaning, go and check out oceanviewdental.net, and Dr. Jordan Colby will take care of you and your family. Okay, coming up next, we got to move off of the coaching search in San Diego State.
Booty cleavage!
Booty cleavage! And then we got to talk about the coaching search that's happening all over college football. Have you guys seen some of the recent buyouts in college football?
There's like $145 million owed to Power 5 coaches.
We're going to go through the list of some of these coaches, where they may land next.
Sorry, 146.
146, goodness gracious.
Wow.
That's next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. However you're listening, we're glad you are. But if you're listening on the free iHeartRadio app, you can take us anywhere. You can listen to us. Shoot, you can listen to us in the shower. We've heard that from more than one listener.
That is odd, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I listen to music in the shower sometimes.
You do?
Yeah.
Early in the morning?
Dude, I listen
Or
to
you
Two
shower at
Pros
night?
and a Cup of Joe every morning in the shower.
Do you?
You do?
You turn on
Yeah.
760? Yeah. Well, actually,
Ooh.
so that's the point I was trying to make. 760. You can bring up San Diego Sports 760 on your smartphone, wherever you are, on the free iHeartRadio app. And if you're listening, you can bring it to the car. You can bring it to the office. You can continue listening throughout the day, running your errands, whatever it may be. If you listen on the app, share the link with a buddy. We definitely would appreciate it. Best way to support the show is get more people listening to it. Okay, so Jimbo Fisher was given $75 million to no longer coach at
God.
Texas A&M.
That sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
How
Gum-
do we get one of those jobs,
Yeah.
guys?
First, we got to coach.
Okay,
And then they'll be like, please, God, we'll take whatever to not coach.
what is crazy about this is Texas A&M just beat Mississippi State 51-10 in that game. The decision was made before the game. And here's how I know. Okay. So a check came in from some donors. I
Mhm.
forget the name of the Texas A&M group, but they have like a wealthy group of donors who came out and did a halftime presentation and gave a check worth more than $130 million
Wow.
to the football program, to the athletic department. They presented it at halftime. So imagine that if you're Jimbo Fisher, literally the check that's paying your buyout, your severance, is being presented at halftime of your final game coaching the Aggies.
So that $76 million, it triples the highest known coaching contract buyout at a public school. The previous record was 2020 with Gus Malzahn, which was at Auburn. So he was owed $21.7 million. I mean, this is craziness. These numbers that we're seeing, $76 million is more than half of all the buyouts in the Power Five right now, which again is $146 million being paid to people to not do their job.
Yeah. It's a lucrative business, football. And
Getting
like,
fired sounds pretty great.
Yeah, I would do it.
Imagine if you're like in Texas and like, I don't know, you have a complaint with like the public utilities, like, gosh, like the trash collectors, they keep breaking our garbage cans with their trucks and then they don't replace them for free. You got to pay $80 to the city and then they just randomly drop them off a month later. And this is awful. And then you realize the state of Texas just paid Jimbo Fisher $75 million.
76.
I mean, can you imagine? And then you're like, yeah, but like we can't have a free trash can when you guys ruin it. I mean, that's absurd. That is absurd.
I want a coaching job so bad.
Well, listen, if we find a way to get Paige Sporanic on San Diego State's just on their radar, and she gets hired, she could thank us, and maybe we'll have positions on the staff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe. How do we get her on the show?
I mean, the Denver Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett, so I'm sure they'd give you a shot.
Oddly, I think I could do better than Nathaniel Hackett by just looking up how to coach on YouTube. Somehow that would be that would work out better for the Denver Broncos.
Just whispering little nothings into Fletcher's ear.
Like, are you serious right now?
Whoa, dude! Whoa! No need to get inappropriate.
Wait. Is it little somethings about something on the show or just little somethings in general?
I'm going to tell you.
No, they were about you.
Yeah. Oh, all of them. About those glasses.
Very self-conscious.
Yeah.
Have you looked at your biceps recently?
Yeah, they are.
Why do we play this game?
I like to call them Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Booty cleavage.
We'll get back to the NFL. It's been a very busy couple of days in the NFL. We'll do our Week 10 recap on the other side. It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
Hour 2, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by AutoZone. Starting off with Monday Night Football, the Denver Broncos went into Buffalo. They won 24-22, but the way they won was actually insane. Seconds left on the clock. Denver misses the go-ahead field goal, appearing to lose the game. However, the Bills had 12 men on the field, so the penalty moves the Broncos forward, and Will Lutz makes the shorter attempt. Broncos win 24-22, and Travis Dale celebrates. College hoops, Aztecs welcoming Long Beach into Viejas Arena tonight for a 7 o'clock tip-off. John and Jim are on the air from Viejas beginning at 3. Pre-game coverage getting underway at 6. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. So get in the zone. AutoZone.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch here with you. And we had a really, really, really busy week of NFL, right? So we wrap up week 10.
This was a great week.
Yeah, I mean, so yesterday we were almost complaining that Brady Hoke selfishly retired during our week 10 weekend wrap up in the NFL. Like, we're like, how could he be so insensitive to do this during our talk show? No, we were very excited for the coach. Looking forward to what's next for him. And he said he might jump in here on a Bar Car Friday here pretty soon.
I'd like that.
Yeah, I would do. I do. Yeah. He is like, he's a beer guy. Like, he's one of those guys where he keeps threatening me with a good time. He's like, me and you need to get beer sometime. I'm like, oh, turns out I like beer too.
He should bring Mike Goff.
Oh,
because I think if there's anyone in San Diego who could challenge you in a shotgun,
dude,
I have no knowledge of how
Wow.
fast he can chug, but he just looks like a
the
guy who
offensive
could.
line coach for the San Diego State Aztecs football team, when he shakes your hand. So look, I'm also a former offensive guard in the NFL.
Are you?
I mean, we're the same thing. We should be. We're not. Mike Goff is built of something else altogether. Like, he shakes your hand, and it's like, it really truly feels like shaking my dad's hand. I'm like, hey, Mr. Goff. Like, we're peers, but I like look up at, first of all, he's a giant. He's like 6'7". I'm 6'3".
The facial hair is intimidating.
Yeah, no, he looks like he should be guarding a door somewhere.
We should have him fight John Fink.
Oh my gosh. 1000%.
John Fink loses.
Can we start giant wrestling?
Yeah, but we should start that.
I'm just giant wrestling.
That
The
is
giant
the-
wrestling league.
Easiest thing to promote.
GWL.
The GWO. Oh my God. That's right.
GWL, the giant wrestling league.
R.I.P. Andre. We could have used you.
We absolutely could have.
God, yeah, we could have.
So John Fink, our 7-foot-tall Kogo newsman, against Mike Goff, San Diego State offensive line coach.
It's gonna be great.
The war on the shore. The Thuranga Pachanga. Let's go. So anyways, it was a crazy busy NFL weekend. So we got to get back to it. We saw some things that I don't think anybody could have possibly expected, especially the fact that against a top 5 defense, all of a sudden Josh Dobbs is leading the Minnesota Vikings to a victory. And Jameis Winston, by the way, got into that game for the Saints. So Derek Carr goes down with a concussion. Jameis Winston, I found this video yesterday on Twitter, and I was legitimately laughing out loud.
What's it, the touchdown pass?
Oh my God. So he throws a touchdown pass to Perry. He is on. I can't describe to you how close he was to like stepping out of bounds on his side of the field. He is clear across the field from Perry. He's throwing the ball only 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. However, he's throwing it all the way across the field.
It's 50 yards.
So he throws a 50-yard frozen rope across the field. It was bonkers. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be intercepted.
What's the number one thing they tell quarterbacks not to do?
Never throw across the field or into the middle of the field, or frankly, just throw to your side of the field is the quickest way to say it. So he throws it all the way across the field, and it's a touchdown pass. And then he's like signaling to his coach, and we go for 1 or 2. I would be like, we're going for 1. Get the hell off the field, you maniac. There's one human being in the NFL who would be willing to throw that pass. and it's Jameis
I
Winston.
I love it when it's chaos.
Oh, dude.
I mean, I love it when it just wild things happen.
Famous Jameis is chaos.
That's beautiful.
It's his middle name.
Bring it on.
But Josh Dobbs is chaos too. He's a brilliant human being. He's an engineer, as we're finding out, and he's got this like ability to step into a role that he didn't have 10 days ago and get his second win with the Minnesota Vikings. All of a sudden, they have a heartbeat.
And the Vikings, who I thought would have sold off the team here come the trade deadline. You want to keep the coffee in the cup.
Yeah. Damn it.
I mean, I thought it was going to be completely dismantled. You, Rich, did not. You thought they were going to be buyers. And I mean, they were. They bring Josh Dobbs in. All of a sudden, this offense is come back to life. This team does not look dead at all. This team looks like they are gunning for the playoffs and beyond. And they're missing arguably the best wide receiver, one or two, maybe.
Justin
Jefferson in the National Football League, who is supposed to be back this week against the Broncos.
Wow.
It's a lot there. And meanwhile, like the defense is the unsung superstar in Minnesota. Like Danielle Hunter and the way that they're able to crash the backfield on pretty much every single play. Like we talked about with the 49ers this week, how impressive it was that they were sending 3 or 4 guys every time and able to get to the quarterback. Well, heads up, the Minnesota Vikings have been doing that for like 3-4 weeks now, and they're on a 5-game winning streak. 2 of those with Josh Dobbs as their quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins, I think his leadership has been invaluable to Kevin O'Connell.
By the way, Kirk Cousins still leading the NFL in a couple categories, passing statistics, and he's been out for 2 games.
And Kevin O'Connell is one of those coaches who we knew he was a rising star when he was the coordinator with the Rams. But when he got the head coaching job, there were a lot of people in Minnesota who was like, who's this guy? Well, what he did was he led them to the playoffs in his first year.
He's pretty.
Yeah. Handsome dude. Good talker. All right. Smart offensive mind. The one thing that when you listen to him speak about offensive football is there's no second guessing himself. He has a purview. He has a way. He has an understanding and an ability to explain it. And if he's working with an intelligent quarterback, Josh Dobbs, intelligent quarterback, Kirk Cousins, intelligent quarterback, he's going to be able to transmit all that intelligence. And so right now, like you said, 5-game win streak, second in that division. All of a sudden, the Detroit Lions with a win on the road in LA, they're looking like there's nobody who's going to be able to catch them. However, Minnesota's 6-4.
You think Detroit has that, like, kind of looking over your shoulder, like, whoa, where the hell did you come from?
A little bit.
Yeah, I would say they would. Yeah. I mean, how could you not? How could you not? When this team doesn't even have their best player out on the field and they're still finding a way to win games. Josh Dobbs, by the way, was the number 2 rusher for the Vikings in that game. Had 44 yards.
Yeah.
And
a touchdown on the ground.
Yeah. I mean, come on. This is awesome.
It's very, very cool. The New England Patriots, they got beat in the early slate against the Indianapolis Colts. And now it is like the drum beats as loud as it could get. I was doing an interview with Doug Gottlieb on Fox Sports Radio yesterday, and he asked me flat out.
Big Rich, TD, and Felch.
That's right. He did refer to you that way, didn't he?
I've met Doug like 5 times.
Did he say Sports 76 every
No,
morning?
that's Colin.
Very popular show.
Very popular show. Everybody's watching it. You should too.
Sports 76.
Was Doug's first question to you, Rich, when are they going to fire Bill?
It was pretty close.
Yeah.
That was pretty damn close.
The number 1 question should have been, when are they going to fire Mac Jones?
Because he asked short questions. I really love that. And it's something that I practice in my own life. I do.
I'm glad you laughed at that.
I do not ask short questions. I like to hear myself talk. But he does. And he goes, so Patriots, Belichick, it's over, right? And I was just like, yeah, it kind of feels that way. Yeah,
so it does look like they have a bye week coming up this week.
Mhm.
Probably Mac Jones not going to start the next game, right?
He shouldn't. Mac Jones feels like one of, if not the worst quarterback in the NFL.
He's bad.
He's bad.
I mean, he's all the way bad. So Billy O'Brien came in. His sole mission was to fix Mac Jones, to make him look at least anything resembling the way he looked his rookie year, where, look, he had a good rookie year. I will say this. It was a very simplified, watered down offense. They didn't ask Mac Jones to do a whole lot. They really relied on their running game. And so in year 3, with a better understanding of how to play football at this level, I'm sure Billy O'Brien was like, okay, we can challenge this guy to expand the playbook and become more and build off of what he did his rookie year. His second year, obviously, there was some regression. He was working with a defensive coordinator as his offensive coordinator, but it has looked so bad this season. And temper spilled over on the sideline. Billy O'Brien, there was a cut shot during that broadcast in Germany.
Screaming.
Just pounding the iPad. He was showing him a play that he screwed up and just shouting in Mac Jones' ear. And Mac Jones, he just took it.
Was that the Saints game?
It was against the Colts this weekend.
Oh,
in
Colts
Germany.
this weekend.
Now, I will say, like, Mac Jones, all the football stuff aside, kind of seems like a jerk. So I don't know him. I don't know him personally. Never talked to him. But he takes cheap shots. Like, he likes to punch dudes in the wiener.
There's a lot of video evidence of it.
It's happened multiple times now.
He likes to punch people in the wiener.
Okay, listen. I don't know if he's a jerk. Fletch really, he will come in and he will go low on you. He doesn't care.
Am I wrong?
Well, I don't know if
he's
he's
going
a
to be
jerk.
written in his high school yearbook.
But
Mac Jones voted most likely to punch you in the wiener.
Hang on X.com.
We've seen it now multiple times.
In the search bar,
I have.
If you type in Mac Jones low blows, there will be at least one or two accounts that has a video where you can see a compilation video of him either kicking or punching or grabbing opponents.
Now, here's the thing. Like, when you talk about guy code, number one rule, don't touch the junk.
Yeah, you can
be
never
home by dinner time.
You never go 5-on-2.
Never
go 5-on-2. And if you know, you know.
And Mac Jones don't know.
So I do think on the other side of the bye, it's probably going to be Bailey Zappi.
Malik Cunningham.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be. The fact of the matter is this season's over. They're 2-8. If they rattle off, say, I don't know, 5 wins, maybe they go 5-2, it's still going to be a 7-win season.
So, Rich, Bill Belichick and the Patriots, they done?
I think so. I think after the season, there's going to be a split. And I'll tell you right now, if a team like the Chargers are looking for a culture builder, somebody who can come in and actually improve that defense, somebody who can come in and actually get a lot out of a great quarterback like he did for the Patriots with Tom Brady, I'd hire Bill Belichick.
I like that.
How much would you have to hire him for?
Yeah, he's going to be looking for a lot of money. And I'm not sure Dean Spanos and the Chargers have that kind of money to offer. So, but I'm just saying, if I were to pick a landing spot, doesn't it feel like that one's curtailed perfect?
It does. Now, would that coincide with Bill Belichick coming in and also being the general manager? The one thing Tom Telesco's done pretty well, now line play, he has not drafted well, but skill position wise, he has.
Imagine BB with Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Derwin James on a defense.
It'd be awesome.
I mean, it's so
maybe. I don't know. This Bill Belichick, maybe not.
Well, I don't know. The defense is still good. I mean, they held the Colts to 10 points. The problem is they scored 6. So that hurts. But he needs a Tom Brady. He like all good
Who
coaches
doesn't need a Tom Brady?
Right? I mean, like you look around the league and it's like
okay.
Andy Reid needed a Donovan McNabb. He needed a Patrick Mahomes for him to have, deep playoff runs and championship visits and Super Bowl visits. Pete Carroll needed Russell Wilson. Bill Walsh needed Montana. Jimmy Johnson needed Troy Aikman. Like, you need a good quarterback. The problem in New England, they do not have a good quarterback.
Yeah, that's factual. Not a good quarterback.
All right, Monday Night Football last night. Denver Broncos beat the Buffalo Bills 24-22. Broncos kicker Will Lutz actually missed the game-winning field goal, but the Bills had too many guys on the field. So Lutz gets a second opportunity, knocks it through for the win. So the Denver Broncos improved to, is it a 4 or 5 game win streak now?
3-game win streak.
Is it 3? Okay.
Three-game win streak. They have 4 wins total.
Okay.
Yeah. Tied with the
Chargers.
Chargers.
Last 2 were against the Chiefs and the Bills.
The Raiders have 5 wins.
Yeah, that's right. So it goes like this: 4-5 Broncos, 4-5 Chargers, 5-win Raiders, and then of course the Chiefs have the top seed in the AFC West right now. The Bills, The Bills are falling flat a little bit this season. Going to be an interesting race in the AFC East. San Diego State gets back on their home floor tonight. Aztecs will host Long Beach State off a tough road loss to the BYU Cougars. Tip off 7 p.m. tonight on San Diego Sports 760. Pregame gets underway with John Schaefer and our very own Ben Fletcher at 6 p.m. outside of Viejas Arena. When you see Ben Fletcher, we encourage you to shout out Booty LA.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the NFL, guys.
What are you studying right now? You didn't even look up at booty cleaving.
Hang on, let's see.
Oh, wait.
There's Mac Jones.
Okay.
And where is he going?
Wow.
See? Right? Boom. Take that, jerk. That's a classic 5-on-2.
Yeah. And you want to stay away from that.
It's like when Grayson Allen was doing this stuff at Duke, we all hated him.
That's right.
Mac Jones does this stuff with the Patriots, and he gets a pass?
Yep.
I will not stand
like,
idly by and let him keep punching wieners.
It's like Jesse from Full House. You do not touch the hair.
Or the balls.
How does he do it? Cut it out.
No, that's Uncle Joey.
That was Uncle Joey.
Cut it out.
I was like 6.
Whoa. Tampa Bay Bucks and Baker Mayfield.
Wait, was that Joey Lawrence?
Oh, yeah, what?
Whoa.
Blossom. Oh, boy.
You never saw Blossom?
You missed a whole generation.
Yeah, you missed TGIF.
You want to hear the creepiest synopsis of a show? Preteen girl has a second-story room. Neighbor kid who's got his life off track slams ladder against side of the house, climbs into daughter's room each night to have, heart-to-heart conversations.
Yeah, it's totally adorable. Totally fine. He's like 25.
That's what me and Travis grew up on. So when people are like, gosh, those guys are creeps, I wonder why, TGIF.
Yeah, I blame ABC.
Yeah. Thanks for your quality family
This is
programming.
what you've done to us.
Mayfield goes 18 of 29 for 278, 2 touchdowns, and an interception thrown in a Bucs win over the Tennessee Titans. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still hanging around as have a legitimate shot winning the NFC South.
Good luck next week.
Who do they got again? What is it?
San Francisco.
Oh, no. The party's over.
So Baker
Never
Mayfield,
mind.
and I've said this about Dak Prescott. I feel similarly with Baker Mayfield. Like, I like Baker Mayfield. I'm a Baker fan. He's not great against good defenses.
Okay, but does he punch other people's wieners like Mac Jones?
Nobody does plant flags in the ground. He does have a video of him running away from cops. Like, this is a very Colin Cowherd take, but I just don't like that in my quarterback. No, I don't really
It's
care.
not very quarterbackial.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I don't like my quarterbacks wearing backward hats. That's it.
Can we just talk about the way you just said that? I don't like that in my quarterback.
I was doing Colin.
Oh,
yeah.
So I was looking down.
Yeah, I don't mind anything that Baker Mayfield has done in his career. Like, I am a Baker Mayfield fan, but I do understand that against good defenses, he's not very good, and that's why he'll never be an elite quarterback.
Well, I mean, never say never, because there is a guy named Geno Smith who apparently never wrote back when everybody wrote it about him.
And would you say Geno Smith is an elite quarterback?
Geno Smith is a great quarterback in this league.
You seen his numbers this year? They've taken quite a hit from last year.
He might be riding back.
He is currently riding back.
The Seahawks are winning games. The Seahawks are winning games based on the dual threat of Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker, who's having an outstanding year. They're winning games because of a defense led by one of the best defensive-minded head coaches of all time in Pete Carroll. Like, Geno Smith hasn't necessarily been the guy this year that he was last year.
I'll say this. I would take Geno Smith over half of the NFL.
Same.
Yeah, I agree.
Quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
And here's the deal is Geno Smith really with Seattle, with any team, is Geno Smith a playoff quarterback? Right now he is, because is he top 14? And the answer is, yeah, right now he is. So I understand what you're saying. It's not perfect. It hasn't been perfect this season, but it's nothing compared to the coming out party for Geno Smith last year in year 8 of his NFL career. Can Baker have a career switch, a changeover like that? Maybe at some point.
And when you talk about Baker, like, we got to understand the Bucs didn't want Baker to be their starting quarterback this far into the season.
No.
They wanted it to be Kyle Trask. Baker Mayfield has successfully, to his credit, held off Kyle Trask. And whether that's more Kyle Trask or more Baker Mayfield, I tend to lean it's more Baker Mayfield because the Bucs have been winning games.
Talking about quarterbacks making a comeback, this is an odd one because of his contract, but Deshaun Watson has been awful for the Cleveland Browns. He's been bad. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. If his name wasn't Deshaun Watson and his name instead was PJ Walker, or his name instead was Gardner Minshew, or
Jeff Allen,
or
Cabana Boy Jeff.
Hey,
finger gun.
Then we would feel very differently about Deshaun Watson. But because his name precedes him, a lot of people are making excuses for him. He's playing like a backup quarterback until the second half of that game against the Baltimore Ravens, where he took the game over and he looked like it was Houston Texans Deshaun Watson. So huge win for the Cleveland Browns, who have kept their head above water, waiting for him to return to the game because he's been injured with that shoulder injury all season.
Does one half of great play make you believe in him?
Not me.
Not me either. I just don't buy it.
He's tough to root for anyways, with the sexual misconduct allegations, where he was suspended last year, 2 years ago, whatever it was, that all of that was hitting the courts in those civil cases. But on top of it, like, you need a durable quarterback, A, and B, a great quarterback to have a chance in this league. He's neither of those things anymore.
But we've seen him be those things. And it's not like he's old. He's still a young quarterback. Like, I think that the reason people might be making excuses for him is because we've seen him perform at a top 5 level before. He was in that conversation with Patrick Mahomes, we talked about him as if he was one of the greats. Now that body is still there. It's just we have to see it happen again.
Well, we don't know if that body's still there. I mean, it's been a number of years since that comparison has been made, an actual real comparison due to numbers. So, I mean, I don't know if you can say that. I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
that's why I understand what he's saying. What Fletch is saying is true. He's getting those excuses because of his body of work prior to all of what's transpired, and then obviously switching over to Cleveland. But yeah, I'm with you, TD. Like, what I've seen, I have not liked. He looks very average. Now,
old Deshaun came out, though, in the second half.
He can take over a football game if he gets back to doing what he was doing. But I'll be perfectly honest. There were a couple of plays where he went down, and I'm like, oh, he's going to leave the field with an injury. He just looks so fragile. He isn't old. You're right. But then again, you got to put it in the context of a dual threat quarterback. Those guys age fast.
Yep.
Now, people say, well, he was off the field during his final year in Houston, and he barely played due to the suspension last year, but he's been off and injured this year. 28 is 28. Like, it doesn't matter. Your body doesn't care if you've played football or not. If you try to roll a 28-year-old out onto a football field who hasn't played competitive football in 2 years or 2.5 years, the body's not going to respond well. And we've seen the results of that.
And Rich, I mean, you do know this, though, that your body does care a little if you played football. You know what I mean? So I would say not playing helps him as far as the injury portion of it. Not playing also makes it worse for his body to come back to the playing days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get back to that moment, but you're right. I mean, 28's 28. The same questions we have about Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, these dual threat quarterbacks where you go, but can they last the whole season?
Yeah. Cam Newton hit 30 and it's like he hit a wall.
Right.
Like, he just couldn't do it anymore. And
I know. Like, for me, it was like 22-ish.
Right around the time I was getting my vasectomy appointment lined up,
it was
I realized
over.
That's about ball game. Speaking of ball game, I had a 5-player pick'em going last night.
I thought you were going to talk to us about
Speaking of vasectomies, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about Dr. Hauser. Doogie, over at
I go there every week.
Yeah, I've gotten 2 vasectomies. No, listen, I want to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. I had a 5-player pick'em going last night. I didn't hit on it, unfortunately. But it was it makes it so much more enjoyable. Like, that game, it wasn't the most fun. I mean, Denver basically had 5 turnover opportunities to score points and scored like none. The offense was pretty poor last night, but the whole way I'm watching this game, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I mean, we're close. We're right there. It keeps you engaged. It's the best way to watch football or basketball. The NBA season's here as well. No easier way to get in on the action than Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. This is how it works. You choose between 2 to 5 players. I had the 5-player pick'em going. You select whether they'll go higher or lower on their stat. And then do what you do. You watch these games. I could have won up to 20 times my money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's legal in California. Ton of fun. Play along. Watch your team. Build your dream team today. All right, go to their easy-to-use mobile app, Underdog Fantasy, or head to their website, underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with promo code XTRA. That's XTRA. And if you deposit $10 or more, Underdog will double it up to $100. Plus, new customers will get a free mystery special pick live in their Pick'em lobby. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Okay, we got a text in. I don't have the text line up. What does it say?
It's from the 913. Rich, can you use my name as the example of underdog success? You can say I hit on a 5-player pick'em last night.
There we go.
Wow.
There we
Look
go.
at that.
Texter from the 913, Underdog Fantasy again. Promo code XTRA. Get your first deposit doubled up to $100. Okay, coming up next, we wrap up week 10 in the NFL.
This update is presented by AutoZone. Starting off with Monday Night Football, Denver Broncos go into Buffalo. They win 24-22. Buffalo, their playoff picture, that window is closing. College hoops, Aztecs welcome in Long Beach into Viejas Arena tonight for a 7 o'clock tip-off. John and Jim going to be on the air from Viejas starting at 3. Pre-game coverage gets underway officially at 6. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. So get in the zone, AutoZone.
It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. It's San Diego Sports 760. It is a party in here.
Hey, right?
Woo!
You kidding, man? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Man, it's the 80-20 rule.
Yeah,
It's the 80-20 rule.
80-20 rule when they bring in a Krispy Kreme.
We know that the narc is listening. It's the 80-20 rule
That's right.
on
That's
the
right.
maintenance phase.
Is maintenance phase? Is there a Krispy Kreme in the maintenance phase?
Okay, so we all are doing our weight loss with ST Fat Loss. We've lost a ton of weight. As a show, over 110 lbs dropped.
Right. How much do you think one Krispy Kreme weighs?
Dude,
Like
let me
3
feel-
ounces? Let me see.
Not even. This is like 2.5 ounces.
I mean,
maybe
so,
2.
So, I mean, 30 pounds worth?
I'm gonna dip it in my coffee. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I got no problem with that.
Oh, wow. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
mhm.
It's been a long time. I've missed you.
Hello,
Dude, it was an
darkness,
emotional
my old
experience
friend.
eating that.
Wow.
I don't know who brought those in, but thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Thank you to everyone.
Let me tell
Um,
you something about Krispy Kreme donuts. that
Okay.
A lot of people don't know, and I don't know how but there are a lot of people in this world who don't know this. When you go to Krispy Kreme, they have a light that says hot
Uh-huh.
in the window.
Fresh.
Fresh. So if the hot light is on, go in there. I don't care if you're on your way to a work interview. Like, you got to go in.
That means those donuts are fresh out the oven.
The glazed donuts.
If that light's on, the conveyor belt is running. I
Mhm.
mean, those donuts are running underneath the what do they call this? Is it sugar and rober?
Mhm. The frosting and Rover.
The glazer.
Yeah, the glazer. That was my high school nickname.
That wasn't your uncle's name?
Oh my God.
What? What? How is that any worse than that was my high school nickname?
I have already eaten that donut.
Uh-huh.
That happened so fast.
Oh,
Dude,
well,
I don't even think I chewed. Now that I'm thinking about it.
well,
Kind of
Anyways.
just dissolved.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, yeah. But that's the thing about the hot light. When it's on a Krispy Kreme, the donut actually dissolves in your mouth. It's insane. So, anyways,
yeah.
look,
It's fine.
got to move off the donuts. Got to get back to ball,
Yeah.
hardcore ball. Okay.
God, man.
So, I know it was so good. So, the Arizona Cardinals, they're in an interesting situation.
You're laughing at the Cardinals?
Yeah, they're in a really interesting situation. We talked about this prior to the weekend. I was like, why on earth is Kyler Murray getting to start for the Cardinals? This doesn't make any sense. Even if he's 100% healthy.
I have a theory.
Okay, I want you to lay it on me.
Yeah.
25-23 final. Kyler Murray looks like a video game again. He's back to 100% health. He was the reason they won. What's your theory?
My theory is that the Arizona Cardinals are getting ready to trade Kyler Murray to the Chicago Bears in the offseason for the #1 overall pick in the draft, because the Chicago Bears are going to have that pick, right? And if Caleb Williams is complaining about going there, well, the Arizona Cardinals are working something behind the scenes to where they're going to have a new head coach hire in. Who knows who it's going to be? But that new head coach hire is going to be a fan of Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is going to be a fan of him. The Arizona Cardinals in the offseason are going to trade Kyler Murray to the Chicago Bears for the #1 overall draft pick, plus some other things. And there you go.
Or it could be that the Cardinals are just so good at screwing things up that they're screwing up their own draft pick.
Well, they've screwed it up already. They're not going to get the #1 overall if Kyler Murray plays any more games, because he's good for obviously one win and probably a few more.
I get where you come from.
So they're auditioning him for the #1 overall draft pick.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get where you're coming from. I will say this. I do agree with the thought process that Kyler Murray is auditioning right now for one of 31 other jobs. I do not think he's going to play for the Cardinals next year. I mean, I guess unless something astounding happens to finish the season with the Cardinals, I think they want to trade this contract, because whoever comes in next, by the way, Jonathan Gannon's there right now. Jonathan Gannon didn't get to select Kyler Murray. This new GM didn't get to select Kyler Murray.
No, and I kind of view Jonathan Gannon as not the long-term solution at head coach. Maybe they surprise us. Look, maybe it is Jonathan Gannon and Kyler Murray next year. I could be totally off, and they're just like fine retooling the system around Kyler Murray. But if that was the case, Kyler Murray would not be playing football right now.
It's just there's easier ways to do this. There's such easier ways to do this. Like if you're Jonathan Gannon, all right, and they make a commitment to you, like Michael Bidwell, the owner, or your general manager, everybody sits down in the front office and they say, look, this is our squad, this is our staff. How do we get better from here? The easiest way to get better, or the cheapest way, I should say, get cheap at quarterback, build the team around a rookie quarterback. There are like 4 or 5 quarterbacks coming out in this next year's draft who are really good out of college football, who you could potentially groom into the next, name it, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Tua Tagovailoa, whatever.
You got Drake May, Caleb Williams, Penix. Who else? Who's the Duke kid?
Oh yeah, Riley. Leonard Riley.
This is like a 5 quarterback draft where most of them have at least prospects of being a good NFL quarterback.
So same last year.
Well, yeah. And I mean, and look, it's a crapshoot.
I mean, 2 of them have succeeded so far: C.J. Stroud and Will Levis.
It's a crapshoot. Well, Will Levis, Jerry's out, but C.J. Stroud, absolutely. And it is always a crapshoot. Like you never know. Like, but
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, right. Perfect example.
Yeah, Brock Purdy of it's a gamble. I don't know. Let's grab this guy and see if it works.
Say it's
Which,
lower.
by the way, that was a guy they were like, nah, we'll just keep him on the bench. It's cool. Oh wait, we're out of quarterbacks. I don't know. I guess put him in. And it worked.
So, yeah, that's the Arizona Cardinals situation. I really do feel like you trade Kyler Murray if you're trying to build for the future, because why build around that contract? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I want this to be noted. I didn't bring it up. Travis brought it up.
What?
Brock Purdy career numbers among quarterbacks.
This up, actually.
Among 339 quarterbacks with 400-plus passing attempts. First in passer rating, first in completion percentage, first in yards per attempt, first in pass touchdowns per attempt. So the whole, Brock Purdy just checks down to Deebo Samuel and he goes, BS. Shut up.
This was so moving to you. You felt like you needed to make a TikTok about it.
Well, okay. So there's a trend going around of stitching a popular chef on TikTok who is blessed by the heavens with gorgeous looks. So I was trying to think of what I should stitch to that. And I thought
Gordon Ramsay?
that, these are fun stats and it's doing pretty well on TikTok, actually.
It's Gordon Ramsay?
No.
Oh, okay.
It is a female chef influencer.
Oh, wait a second. Does she barbecue typically?
No, it's the girl who does the Only Pans series.
Oh, got it.
So she does this thing like, call me crazy, but I don't like store-bought pesto. And I said, that is crazy, Susie. But really what's crazy is Brock Purdy's career numbers.
Yeah.
Check it out at Big Rich TD Fletch.
Check it out at TD. Big Rich TD Fletch. Also, speaking of TD, I do want to point to this gentleman to my left and the work he's done on his neck. So we already talked about.
Look at that ass.
Ben's neck. He's got an ass where his neck used to be. No, you gotta talk about TD's. Dude,
you like this.
Are you twerking or are you shaking your head? Yes. We don't know.
Don't know. Either way. Look, 8 weeks ago, I'm not gonna beat around the bush here.
Nope.
I wasn't looking at that ass.
No, nobody was staring at this. Nobody was looking at this. It was just junk in the trunk, not just
too much junk in the trunk.
It was, yeah, I mean, like
booty cleavage.
There was more booty cleavage 8 weeks ago. I'm not gonna lie. Look, I was overweight, man. I think we all can admit we were overweight here. We needed to drop a few pounds, and SD Fat Loss came in and they said, hey, we can help you with that, and we can help you do it quickly. And they did. 8 weeks, just over 8 weeks now. 30 pounds lost by me. Rich, you're over 35. Ben, since you started the weight loss journey, you're down 50 pounds. I mean, it's incredible.
48. It was a rough weekend.
Well, that's right. Well, and then they bring in like Krispy Kreme donuts here at the station. It's hard to say no. But guess what? The good news is sdfatloss.com. They'll show you the correct way to eat. They'll show you what you need to do to lose weight fast, like I said, but then they'll also show you how to keep that weight off. And that is very important as we head into the holiday season here, because look, we know it's tough. We know it's tough to eat right. Well, the coaches, the staff over there, they will show you how to do it. SDFatLoss.com. You won't have to exercise. You won't count points. You won't count calories. You won't have any injections, none of that stuff. You're just going to do some good old-fashioned American know-how, how to lose weight. And Wayne and Chloe will show you how to do it. SDFatLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation today.
All right, listen, coming up next, we got to get to an NBA storyline that has been simmering in the background all season long, but it's a problem for one team close to where we sit right now. That's next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. So Daryl Morey has, I would say, a blemished record in the NBA. There have been some moments. However, overall, he constructed a team that really changed the way basketball is played at the NBA level. A lot of people credit Steph Curry and his acumen for shooting three-point shots as being the reason why the NBA changed, why so many, 6'1", 6'3" point guards are now shooting from the logo. But Daryl Morey and the Houston Rockets, they looked at the statistics and they said, if we only shoot three-pointers, we can win a lot of basketball games. And so they became this insane volume three-point team, and it took them to a Western Conference final while James Harden was anchoring that basketball team. He also brought James Harden to the Philadelphia 76ers. That didn't work after he wanted to join the super team with the Brooklyn Nets. And James Harden is a shell of his former self. You rewind the clock to 2017, 2015, whenever it was that Houston went on that run. That was a very good basketball team. He was a very good basketball player. Now with the LA Clippers, not as
have
much.
they won yet since he joined the team?
Great.
There was a while, like his first 4 games, they didn't win. Have they won yet?
I don't think so. Actually,
Okay,
I
let's
haven't
look
looked
up.
at their record, but yeah, I'm pretty sure the Clippers are winless with James Harden, which is hard to do.
Kawhi, Paul George, James Harden,
Yeah. Oh, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
that's the squad right now. That's the squad.
and they're not winning games.
They are not winning games.
Well, they've won 3.
Okay.
So
Three
Brian,
games.
Okay.
Pretty good.
What's their most recent? Lost to the Mavericks, lost to the Nets, lost to the Knicks, lost to the Lakers.
Yeah.
But their last win was against the Magic. What date?
Halloween night.
so I don't think they've won since James Harden became a Clipper,
Yeah, correct.
or since he started playing with them.
Yeah.
So Brian Damaris, he's a Mavericks broadcaster now. He's an analyst on the Mavericks broadcast. I don't know what his career was before that. I don't know
he's
Brian
a
Damaris.
former GM.
But he absolutely cooked James Harden on a Mavericks broadcast. And just listen to the first 30 seconds of this. It's like a 4-minute clip, but the first 30 seconds really drives home the point. I'm not a system player. I am the system.
Brian Damaris was the former director of player development with the Dallas Mavericks. So he's in a role that Daryl Morey obviously works with closely in a front office in his former life. Now he's a broadcaster with Bally Sports Southwest, and absolutely lit up James Harden there. But every single thing he said is accurate.
Yep.
Look, I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the tale of the tape is LeBron James did walk out on the Cleveland Cavaliers to go win titles because he got nervous that he wasn't going to be able to win titles and he was going to be the best player without a title, like Charles Barkley, right? He got scared and he left. Like, that has to be a part of the tale that you tell when you talk about LeBron James. Like, Kevin Durant, as great as he is, 2-time NBA champ, 2-time NBA Finals MVP, he had to leave OKC and left that city in a lurch, and he's hated by those fans, those Thunder fans. It has to be a part of the story.
He did the same thing with the Warriors.
James Harden, and he did the same thing with the Warriors. James Harden, for as great as he's been, and he will be a Hall of Famer in the Naismith Pro Basketball Hall of Fame, as great as he is, he is a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
He is a gigantic pain in the ass to any of the front office and frankly to many of his teammates that he's played with over the course of his career. It has to be a part of the conversation. We're saying the quiet parts out loud now, and it feels good in the NBA because guess what? For all those young fans in Houston who bought the James Harden jersey, or any of those young fans in Brooklyn or New York who bought the James Harden jersey, for all those Philadelphia kids who thought, we got the beard, he's the system, who bought the jersey, he gave them the middle finger on his way out the door because he wanted to chase whatever it is that personally he wanted.
Yep, and it won't matter how many championships he wins because the first thing you'll think of is he was a pain in the ass. I mean, that is going to be the legacy that sticks.
And he'll probably never win a championship.
That is also correct.
Well, it doesn't look like it's going smoothly with the Clippers so far. I would
he
argue
should leave immediately.
right.
Yeah, what if he tries to force a deal by the time the trade deadline comes around?
I'm not kidding. When things started to go sideways and people started memeing James Harden on the bicycle and they're saying like the Clippers season is about to go, or somebody who's like flaming dumpster, name the NBA team right now. And everybody's just writing the Clippers. And it does sort of feel like we know how this is going to end. This is what, his third super team that he's either helped put together or joined.
I count the Oklahoma City Thunder,
4?
the first team he was on. So that's 4. That was Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden.
Well, shoot. I mean, okay, let's do them all. So OKC, and then Chris Paul and him in Houston. Then he goes to Kevin Durant and the Duke player Kyrie Irving and himself in Brooklyn. He joins the
76ers with Joel Embiid.
And then he goes to the Clippers with this bevy of superstars. I mean, it's his 5th super team that he's been a part of. He has 0 championships. Hi. Me, I'm the problem, it's me. Okay. I'll take a lap right after this because I apologize. That was my fault.
I also thought it was nice that I saw over in Star, they have a swear jar, but it's not a swear jar. It's if you mention Travis Kelce or Taylor Swift, you have to put money in the jar.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Pretty good call.
At the Good Feet store, they have these art supports. Okay. What you do is you slide them into your shoes. You wear them all day long. They disappear kind of. Yeah. I mean, I'm wearing them right now. You don't think about it.
Yeah, you don't know they're there.
Yeah.
You don't know they're there until you put your feet in a different pair of shoes that don't have them.
Thank you. So I had no idea I had arches, but apparently they found some at the Good Feet store and they needed support. And so what they did is they gave me, mine are kind of lower profile because I don't have very large arches in my feet, but they give me this art support and it changed the way I walk. The foundation of the rest of your body is your feet. So if you stand around a lot, if you have a job where on your feet a lot, or if you just want to feel better in your daily life, whatever your activity level is, waking up with less joint pain, go to the Good Feet store because I was struggling with ankle pain, knee pain, back pain for sure. That's how I ended my NFL career. And the hip pain was coming on the right side. I'm not sure where that came from, but it was really bothering me. It's all completely dissipated. And I really do credit the Good Feet store. So if you're like me and you're struggling with lower body joint pain, get to the Good Feet store, 200 plus locations around the world. And they've been doing it for 30 plus years. Goodfeet.com for more information. Okay. On the other side, we get back to San Diego State changes at the top of the football program and also another NFL Week 10 recap on the other side.
This update is presented by AutoZone. It's hour 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Starting off with Monday Night Football here. Broncos winning to Buffalo. They win 24-22 on Monday night, but the way they won was pretty insane. Seconds left on the clock. Denver misses the go-ahead field goal, appearing to lose the game. However, the Bills had 12 men on the field, so the penalty moves the Broncos forward, and Will Lutz makes the shorter attempt. Broncos win 24-22. Travis Dale takes his shirt off and runs around the house. College hoops. Aztecs welcome in Long Beach into Viejas Arena tonight for a 7 o'clock tip-off. John and Jim on the air from Viejas starting at 3. Pre-game coverage gets underway at 6. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. It's AutoZone.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. We have yet to give away anything, and we have promised a 4-pack of tickets to Legoland, California. Legoland holidays are here, presented by Hallmark Channel. You could celebrate November 18th all the way to January 7th with festive characters, shows, food, snow, and so much more. Visit Legoland.com/California for details. Also, a pair of tickets to go see the Aztecs 2-night tip-off at 7 p.m. They're taking on the Long Beach State. What is it? Dirtbags, 49ers?
Their baseball team's the Dirtbags. I think their football team's the 49ers, and I think their basketball team is too.
How do you have different names at the school?
Maybe it's a nickname.
What?
Because Dirtbags, like, you know, when you're grabbing bags, you're stealing bases.
That's definitely their baseball team's name, but I know it doesn't apply to any of the other sports.
Anyway, so Long Beach State is coming to Viejas Arena, looking to avenge that loss on the road most recently to BYU for the Aztecs. GoAztecs.com for tickets and info, but we have a pair of tickets coming up very shortly. So if you're interested in going to see tip-off tonight, maybe slap a high five to our buddy over here, Ben Fletcher.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be broadcasting live alongside John Schaefer. Pregame getting started at 6 p.m. tonight.
Or a slap right in the booty.
Booty cleavage. And that brings us right back to where we started.
No.
So listen, San Diego State, yesterday, Brady Hoke addressed his team, his football team, and he said, guys, that's it. I'm calling it a career. Okay. He jumped on the show yesterday, the Brady Hoke Coaches Report, and he said, guys, I'm calling it a career. When's Bar Car Friday? I said, it's on Friday, as it turns out. And he said, great.
We do it Fridays.
We do it Fridays.
It's weird.
We bring in a bar cart. Jeremy Piven may yell at us.
What day is Monday Night Football?
Monday.
Do you know what time the 4:30 parade is?
So he steps down at the end of this season as San Diego State's head coach. Very similar to Rocky Long, by the way. When Brady Hoke took over for him, Rocky Long retired. He's now the defensive coordinator with the Syracuse Orange. So who knows? Maybe Brady Hoke isn't done. Maybe he is. Maybe he's going to do some walleye fishing up there in the Midwest, like he was talking to us about yesterday. But one thing we know for sure is he's not going to be coaching here. So it means the San Diego State Aztecs athletic department has to get working on a new head coach, and we have a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
So
they have a suggestion.
TD
It was collective, I think, on this.
And myself and Fletch,
Uh-huh.
we came together. And we were toiling. Like, you could say we were burning the midnight oil.
Right.
We were hard at work while the rest of you were asleep.
We're throwing out names. We had pros and cons.
Yeah, we have lists.
Yeah, I mean,
we have numerous whiteboards.
So many whiteboards were filled with equations.
So many whiteboards. And so we're using our grease pens and we're breaking it down.
Mm-hmm.
There was a montage that we made and then we deleted because we didn't want anybody to see what went into all this.
Yes.
But after extrapolating and after thinking on it, we realized that golf influencer Paige Sporanic should be the next Aztecs head football coach.
Done.
Okay.
It's done.
We figured it out.
I think it's been chosen.
And Fletch is fully supportive of this decision.
So Bruce Feldman wrote an article for The Athletic yesterday talking about San Diego State's potential new hirings.
Way off base
is she
Crazy.
included in the article?
Paige is not. Now, what he does say, and this has become a popular name that we just hear a lot in these articles, but Washington offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb is someone I think San Diego State will look very closely at. Grubb,
strong second.
Okay.
Spent 5 seasons in the Mountain West at Fresno State before following then head coach to Washington, where he sparked the most explosive offense in college football.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Was it DeBoer?
It was DeBoer.
Mm-hmm.
Last winter, he turned down Nick Saban and Alabama's offer to be the Tide offensive coordinator. This is a very good Group of 5 job. It would be hard to say no to this one.
You know what would make it difficult for me to say no to is I feel like there's a lot of places that you could sponsor Grubhub.
Oh, good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you could do a lot of things with that.
Two B's.
Yeah,
Ryan Grubb.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It'd be, here's the Grubhub.
Leave off the first B for better deals at
and
Grubhub.
like if you're at the stadium, you can have Grubhub delivered to your seat.
Okay.
So that's one name.
By the
Young,
way,
offensive-minded head coach.
Head football coach of the San Diego State Aztecs football team. What's it, Ryan Grubb? What if he shows up with your order? Like, so you're placing orders on Grubhub, and he's just like, look, I mean, I'm exhausted. Could you guys stop?
To run all over the stadium.
Now, what's really interesting about this list is the first 3 names on it, meaning Bruce Feldman's most likely 3, are all offensive coordinators somewhere right now.
Where is Paige Spiranek?
Not on the list, somehow.
Okay,
check this out.
Of the available candidates that Feldman pointed out, do any of them have booty cleavage? Because on Paige Spiranek's Instagram account, her most recent post is her wearing a skirt on a golf course, and the San Diego State alum has a little, what she describes as booty cleavage.
You know, it's crazy,
her
but no.
description. Her description.
Now, a name that I find really interesting is actually the younger brother of Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers right now.
Did you say Feldman wrote this article?
Bruce Feldman.
Bruce, okay.
You
I
sure
didn't know
wasn't Corey?
Yeah, was it Corey Feldman?
Kirby Moore is the younger brother of Kellen Moore, who's one of the better offensive minds in the NFL. Look at the Chargers offense. They're not the problem. The defense is. But Kirby Moore is currently the offensive coordinator at Missouri. They led the nation in red zone scoring percentage after ranking number 90 last season. This year is his first year there. They're number 18 in yards per play, up from number 87 a year ago. Moore has Mountain West experience from his time playing wide receiver for Boise.
one time,
but what about the booty cleavage?
I don't know.
I mean, there are simple questions that need to be asked during every interview process. Like, A, how much do you weigh? B, do you arm wrestle? These are the questions we asked. We asked TD when he joined the show.
You did. Those are factual. You did ask that. Yes.
Do you arm wrestle?
You actually, the very first question I think you asked was, "Are you a boobs or an ass man?"
See,
and?
these. Okay.
I went ass.
Good man.
So, like, these 3 questions, like, top of the list, and then somewhere down, like, how many followers do you have on Instagram? Are you a golf influencer? If you're not answering yes to that question, next.
How about this day? Baltimore
on.
Ravens quarterback coach T. Martin. He spent 7 years with USC, a strong recruiting ties on the West Coast. He's 45 years old. He was a former star quarterback at Tennessee. He's done very well in the NFL.
He won a national championship with Tennessee. Peyton Manning did not. So there you have it.
Done and done.
Yeah.
Now, the timing on that one might be tricky because Baltimore looks like they're going to be a playoff team.
It's tricky to Rocco, round 2, Rocco, round. That's right. On time is tricky.
I swear, sometimes I just want to strangle.
I will say
both
this.
of you.
You would take 3 hands. You know what? Maybe not. 2 hands now with sdfatloss.com.
Yeah. Always been a 2-hand guy. Look, the deal is this. With San Diego State and the football team, I know we're goofing around. Paige Spiranek, though, if they're willing to hire her, I think it would be a great choice. But
Listen, if you want to make money,
right.
If that's the goal.
But you need to get somebody who understands that aspect of the game. So whether it's T. Martin, whether it's Ryan Grubb, whether it's Cliff Kingsbury, whether it's Kirby Moore, whether it's any of these, Danton Lynn, any of these candidates that come up in these conversations from source reports on X or Instagram or wherever you find your college football news, the reality of the situation is you need somebody who at very least understands how to connect to recruits where they are. The reason why Coach Prime is having so much early success at Colorado, and that was a dumpster fire of a program a year ago, is because he understands how to control the media narrative and he understands how to recruit, especially on social media. How many weeks have gone by during the college football season where we didn't see Coach Prime, or his name wasn't trending, or one of his sons wasn't trending, or Colorado Buffaloes weren't trending because some rapper led them out of the tunnel?
0 weeks.
It's 0 weeks. It's every single week.
And they're not even that good.
No, they're a 4-win football team, and they're going to be a 4-win football team. They're going to get their brakes beaten off these next 2 weeks. It's just, but you have to understand how cool it is to be associated with the Colorado Buffaloes right now.
And they're sold out every game.
And so if you want to have, look, I mean, if you want to have a similar situation, it's not going to be the same. There's only one Coach Prime. You have to find somebody who is going to understand media narratives, who's going to understand how to recruit through social media, is going to understand how to connect with this younger generation of players who's got very different needs and desires than anybody who's ever come up through this system.
There's not a box that's not checked here. That's all I'm saying.
So Pete Spiranek might be the best candidate. I'm sort of returning back to that lane.
Top of the heap here.
By the way, anybody who hasn't searched her Instagram since we've started talking, we're not being paid by her.
No.
But I certainly feel like it's going to brighten a lot of days out.
She's going to see her analytics and be like, why do I have 10,000 new followers from San Diego and Chicago for some reason?
Yeah, oddly very popular in Chicago.
Why is SDSU Athletics following me now?
Yeah. Who is JD Wicker and why is he calling me? This is crazy.
It's fine.
No, look, we're in a new era of sport. I mean, a lot trades are consummated on the internet. Like some of these super teams in the NBA, they come together on social media.
Right.
Like guys are actively recruiting each other.
Well, and it's a fan that may throw something out there like a radio show in San Diego. You throw something out, all of a sudden it gets some legs, and you get the people who are involved in this story going,
Not just legs, TD. Booty cleavage.
Booty cleavage.
Hashtag booty cleavage.
That's correct. We have to hashtag everything that now.
You're damn right.
Oh, wow. I guess we're doing halftime. Well, Monday Night Football occurred last night, and the Denver Broncos completely decimated the Buffalo Bills.
Is that what happened?
In their own dojo. Yeah, it happened out there in Buffalo.
Sweep the leg.
That's
Will
right.
Lutz.
That's right. Show no mercy. That's what happened. The Broncos D, they got 4 takeaways that the Bronco offense turned into 1.5 points. Winning 24-22 with the last second field goal. And the Broncos punter, Riley Dixon, who's also the placeholder for the Broncos, is now part of some controversy. He's being accused of using an illegal substance.
What?
By
sticky
Bills
stuff.
fans.
I saw this.
Yeah, so I saw it on the final play. Social media blowing up now by Bills fans because during the winning field goal, it looks like he had some
Wait a
stickum
second.
on the back of his hand.
He also has his own line of alcoholic beverage. I love his cider.
What?
Wow.
That was magical. That was absolutely magical. Is he wrong? No, come on. Everything's fine. It's a Tuesday.
I have no words.
It's a Tuesday.
I have no words.
By the way, in the NBA, LeBron James, the self-proclaimed king, is now coming out with his very own museum. But not just any museum. It's a museum dedicated to LeBron James
Shocker.
and only LeBron James.
If we were doing the high school yearbook thing where you do most likely to make a museum out of themselves, LeBron James.
Huh.
He's that guy.
Well,
Just wait for the LeBron James biopic documentary made by, produced by, directed by LeBron James.
King James Production Company.
Yeah.
Alongside Maverick Carter.
Yeah. Can you not have sticky stuff?
Apparently not.
So take a look at the picture because honestly, my first thought was that's burn.
Okay, I thought it was. I thought as well as.
I think it's a wound.
That's what I thought it was. But now the
Wait a
pictures.
second.
Riley.
It looks like a fresh wound from a couple days ago that's starting to scab over.
I thought it was like rug burn from the field, and I went, ouch, man, oh man, that's got to be terrible.
So you guys have never had Riley Dixon's
Stop
cider?
it. We don't need to elaborate on this. The joke landed. It was funny. Move on.
What? No,
You've never had his
The
cider?
joke is funny.
I'm just saying.
People got it.
No, listen.
You
It's
are really wanting to move off of this.
It's a berry cider.
Speaking of sticky stuff,
Go ahead.
it's all over his hands.
Wow, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it sort of feels like he was wearing gloves to keep his hands warm on the sideline.
No, that looks like a cut.
And then he forgot. I don't know. Well, and
If
also
that's a cut, that hurts.
to be perfectly honest, also how on earth does it help you if it's on the top of your hand?
Well, yeah, unless you were wiping it off. You
Yeah.
you put it there so you have some extra in
Yeah,
case you
yeah.
need to wipe some on your hand.
Really bizarre.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're going to. I wonder how long this investigation goes on for. They're probably just going to look at that picture and be like, "Yeah, we don't know. Could we just put out a press release and be
Bills
done with
fans
this?"
are the ones who are going crazy about it. And if you're the NFL and the Bills fans are asking you to investigate, just show images of Bills fans pregame and be like, you want us to investigate him? Why don't we investigate you and all the meth you're doing before games?
Can I
Oh my
point?
gosh.
Can I point something out to you guys? Josh Allen. He has 11 interceptions on the season,
Bad
which is the
quarterback.
most in the NFL.
How many does Jeff Allen have?
He also has 13 turnovers, which is the most in the NFL.
Bad
with the
quarterback.
fumbles.
You have to say it. Numbers don't lie.
Well,
I mean, is he bad?
Yeah.
Bad quarterback.
You got to risk it for the biscuit.
Wait a second. Like all the way bad.
I've been a very ardent Josh Allen defender over the years. I think he's excellent. I think he's big. He's tall. He's strong. He does all the things. But
Handsome.
yeah, sure, he's handsome. He's dating Haley Steinfeld. But now, like, you look at his numbers, and if you were to blind quarterback test this, if you were only to look at numbers across the league right now, bad quarterback.
That'd be a tough gig.
In fact, if you had to guess, you'd probably say, "Oh, that's a fully healthy Daniel Jones."
I mean, I disagree. Don't get me wrong. The interceptions is a problem.
And not just interceptions, but turnovers.
Yeah.
And
turnovers
how
in
about
general.
record as a team?
I'm not disagreeing with anything you just said, but he's not a bad quarterback. Like, I can't get on board with that. Like, don't get me wrong. He needs to clean this up. And it's been 2 years I should say a year and a half of this now where it's been wobbly, but he's still, look, okay. Dak Prescott, is he a bad quarterback?
In certain circumstances.
Okay, but is he a bad quarterback? You were assuredly saying that about Josh Allen.
I'm saying this
Dak
year,
Prescott,
right now, Josh Allen is a bad quarterback.
I don't know. I disagree.
615. I just hopped back in my truck and I heard Rich say Paige, sporadic, and consummate in the same sentence. What the hell did I miss? So much. 615.
Yeah,
You've missed so much.
You're going to want to listen to the podcast.
Yep.
We got in super deep. Look,
Also,
I wanted to transition. I just needed. I was reaching.
you're no. Can't do it. We can't do it. I don't think we're allowed to say that.
On Tuesdays, we like to do something called Four Corners.
Mhm.
Okay, we like
Yeah.
to span the map to bring you
right.
the best stories from around the world.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that right now.
The stories you don't know that you need to know.
Like for example, TD, why don't you slate our thirst with the first of these stories?
Well, there is a study that's been done that, you always hear that if you have a cat, it lowers your blood pressure, blah, blah, blah. A study done that says pets do not make people happier or improve their well-being. So they had people with pets, they had people without pets. They were both equally as happy. I think it's false. I'd be
call
devastated
BS.
without my dog.
Way happier
Yeah.
with my dog.
This is a bunk study, man.
wow.
Bunk study. Yeah, I'm throwing it out the window.
Wait, so physiologically they notice differences in people who own pets?
Well, that's what they said before this study. Now they say no, there is no physiological difference.
I feel like I'm more stressed out owning a dog.
Yeah, probably. Especially as they get to the end of their life
Yeah.
and the vet bills start piling up. My God.
We have a dog who's missing all but one tooth and it has been blind for years now. All she does is run into things and it just gives us agita. We're like, no. Like we're worried about her hitting a corner.
Not the antique vase.
Yeah. Why would we put so many Legos on the floor? The poor dog.
Have you guys been to the safari park?
Yeah.
Which is awesome, right?
Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
that lion enclosure, you're like right next to them and everything.
Yeah.
Well, imagine actually being right next to lions who are just walking down the street. Because in Italy, that was the scene. As some lions escaped from a local zoo and were walking down the street.
I like how nobody's trying to grab them. It's like, we should just videotape this.
Or no, sorry, it was a circus lion that escaped and started just roaming around the streets of
Oh
Italy.
yeah, I did see video of this, and there was like one lady who like walked up, and I think she thought it was a fake lion. I honestly think she did because she like walked up to it, and looked like she was going to pet it, and then somebody must have shouted to her, and she was like, "What? I was just gonna pet the cat," and then she walked away.
It's an
how about this
Italian
one?
thing.
Oh, it sure is, just like figs. The
my
Miami
gosh.
Heat.
Hold
What?
Okay, I turned on the Sly Stallone documentary last night on Netflix after the game, which is great, by the way. I fell asleep about 30 minutes in. However, I was completely into it. I can't wait to finish it. 90 seconds in, Sly Stallone starts making reference about how when you dried up like a fig on a tree.
And what was Sylvester Stallone's nickname in popular movie Rocky?
His nickname?
The Italian Stallion, baby. Yeah, it's an Italian
Oh,
thing.
got it.
It was an Italian
Okay, he's
thing.
tying it all back.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
day he got something right. Insane. The
Thanks.
Miami Heat superstar Jimmy Butler reportedly called into work sick Saturday after spending the night at Morgan Wallen concert the night before.
Load management.
So check this out. Rumors are swirling that after the star forward was spotted singing along to 98 Braves at the Wallen concert at Truist Park in Atlanta on Friday night, according to Whiskey Riff, whatever that means. He called in sick due to personal reasons.
Hungover.
Yeah. Dude, can you
98
imagine?
Braves, great song, by the way.
Can you
Talk
imagine
about those damn Padres.
if all of us went to Morgan Wallen and then we were just like, look, we don't really have a program director, so we're just going to shoot out a quick Instagram video of the three of us like under one cover, being like, we gotta stay home, super ill.
I think I got the black lung popping.
Right.
We'll see you guys Tuesday. Please enjoy Dan Patrick.
I'm calling soft, though, because I've been to plenty of country concerts on a Thursday night and showed up vastly hungover for this show.
Yeah.
And was still able to do my job slightly okay.
Dude, the bourbon and
Like-
steak night when we came
I
back.
was dead the next morning.
That was it was a Friday. We went right into Bar Cart Friday.
I went back and listened
Oh.
to that broadcast we did. I mean, we made sense, but only just barely.
That was a rough day. A
Um,
rough day.
We will never leave any of you behind.
Right. Speaking of Bar Cart Friday, out in Wisconsin, I didn't know that states had an official cocktail.
What's ours?
I have no
Good
idea.
question. I'm gonna look that up right now.
that up right now. Yeah.
Probably
Uh,
a Cosmo.
Out in Wisconsin, they are making the brandy old fashioned the official cocktail
I don't hate
of
that.
Wisconsin. Right. I don't know if I've ever had a brandy old fashioned.
This is the biggest pile of bull malarkey I've ever read in my life. Do you want to know what the California signature drink is?
Give it to me.
The Pecan Punch.
What? What is that?
Okay, I'm clicking on the link. It's from Fox 5 San Diego, and this is back in 2022. Every U.S. state has
Pecan
blah,
Punch.
blah, blah.
How are we not a craft brew?
This cannot be. Oh, no. Okay, California wine.
Oh,
Ours is
okay,
wine.
wine.
It's just
That
blanket.
makes
It's
sense.
wine.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
I
We got
forgot that happens
Napa.
here.
We got the Central Coast. We got lots of really good.
Temecula.
Yeah.
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 All right. I have a Arizona Tequila Sunrise.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like
Oh,
that.
Nevada was the Pecan Punch.
What is pecan punch?
All right. So apparently, okay. Nevada has the largest population of Basque immigrants, especially in the northern part of the state, according to NBC News. This is why the drink is none other than the Pecan Punch, a Basque country drink that's made with grenadine, club soda, brandy, and Ameripecone. I've never heard of most of those ingredients.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Except for brandy.
Yeah.
She's a fine girl. And a fine girl.
Rich, that shirt's too big for you.
Yeah, you're darn right.
Yeah.
Well, it's fitting
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little different these days, and it's because I've started losing weight, guys. Did I mention this earlier?
What?
Yeah.
What have you been doing some kind of weight loss thing?
Yeah. I've been doing sdfatloss.com.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I've been doing
Wait a
sdfatloss.com.
second. You too?
Yeah, I've been doing it for a little over 2 months
Hang on,
now.
Can we talk to our buddy Fletch for a second?
Wait.
Hey, Fletch, do you know what sdfatloss.com is?
I've heard of it. Wayne and Chloe, great people.
Dude,
Wait, what?
those are my weight loss clothes.
Wait, Chloe's who I talked to.
Okay.
Wait, what?
This makes a lot of sense because all of us have been looking a lot better lately. So, seriously though, I've lost.
He's popping the top.
Oh, he's
He's
popping
popping the top.
If you're watching on the stream, Ben Fletcher is about to pop the top. Boy,
Wow,
that's
look at this.
that's a shirt I haven't seen him wear
Wow,
ever
wow.
before. It's
Why-
either new or it's come out of the closet for the first time in a long time.
Why is your body so much tanner than your face?
It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like
Do you-
it's 2 shades darker.
it really is.
That's weird.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, you have like no belly button
Yeah.
depth.
he's going to be an Audi soon.
That's
Anyways,
incredible.
sdfatloss.com is the website to go to if you want to be like Fletch. I
Mhm.
mean, this guy is, honestly, he is an empty husk of his former self. He looks like a discarded corn husk.
He was so fat and disgusting.
And now he looks less fat and disgusting.
It's unbelievable.
No,
it's honestly, it's like
night
insane the amount of weight you've lost.
Go to our Big Rich TD Fletch, any of our social media, Fletch Sports, at Rich Hornberger. Yours is Real Travis Dale. See pictures from before and see pictures currently. We all look small. I mean, compared to what we were. I mean, compared to the rest of the general public, we have a little ways to go. But with great coaches like Wayne and Chloe at SD Fat Loss, we've really, really trimmed down. I'm down over 30 pounds. Travis is down over 30 pounds. Fletch is down over 40 pounds. Fitting in clothes he hasn't fit into in years. No counting points, by the way. We're not counting our calories either. There's no prepackaged foods or meals, no hormones, no drugs, no injections. It's just a little bit of discipline and a lot of great advice from Wayne and Chloe over at sdfatloss.com. Schedule your free consultation today by calling 858-665-3211.
Breaking news!
Yeah.
Ooh,
Heads are rolling.
Boy. Ooh,
Ken Dorsey just
rolling.
got fired.
Who?
Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator of the Bills, who had 12 men on the field last night that lost them a game.
Well, no, that wasn't his 12 men on the field.
It's special teams, but still.
He's the offensive
I
coordinator.
know, but still, like things going that wrong, you got to fire somebody.
You are such a weird guy. I mean, I
So
love you
excited
so
about
much. Okay. Ken Dorsey, Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator, loses his job after that very poor performance. And we just talked about it. His quarterback, Josh Allen, leads the NFL in both interceptions and turnovers on the season, 11 and 13 respectively. It has not worked for a year and a half now. So major changes happening around the NFL. We're going to get back to that, but we have to check in with Doc David Chow, Pro Football Doc on X. You can also go to sixscore.com to get all the injury updates, not just around the NFL, but around all sports leagues. He joins us next.
Our good friend, Dr. David Chow, joins us next to talk about injuries around the NFL.
This update is presented by AutoZone. We will begin with Monday Night Football. Denver Broncos go into Buffalo. They win 24-22, but the way they won, pretty insane. Seconds left on the clock. Denver misses the go-ahead field goal, appearing to lose the game. Then the Bills had 12 men on the field, so the penalty moves the Broncos forward. Will Lutz makes the shorter attempt. Broncos win 24-22. Bills put their playoff hopes into a tricky spot, and the entire time, Riley Dixon had sticky stuff on his hands. College hoops. Aztecs welcome Long Beach into Viejas Arena tonight for a 7 o'clock tip-off. John and Jim live from Viejas starting at 3. Pre-game coverage gets underway at 6. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. So get in the zone. AutoZone. Doc Chow coming up next.
Big Rich TD and Fletch, Seneca Sports 760. Doc Chow definitely coming up next. Also coming up very, very shortly. What do you want to do? You want to do a 4-pack of tickets to Legoland Holidays?
Hell yeah, brother.
Okay, 4-pack of tickets to Legoland, California, because Legoland Holidays are here. Presented by Hallmark Channel, celebrating November 18th through January 7th with festive character shows, food, snow, and more. Visit Legoland.com/California for deets, or just keep listening here because in mere moments, we're going to give those away.
Okay. So I was running around and I ran into somebody literally running. So I'm out of breath. I was running around and I was talking to somebody and they said there was a survey. I don't know how I get into these conversations. We got into the conversation about Thanksgiving dinner and the things I'm looking most forward to. And I mentioned cranberry sauce. And somebody mentioned that there was a survey done that 83% of Americans say that it's not a Thanksgiving dinner without cranberry sauce on the table.
Cranberry sauce sucks.
What?
I knew it. I knew it.
Oh my God.
You do this to me so often. Like I get on this
Wait,
tear
you
where
guys
I'm
actually like it?
like,
love it. I
think,
love it.
Oh, dude,
I love
like,
The stuff that comes in the can?
That's the #1 cranberry sauce for me.
with all my heart, I love cranberry sauce. Now, when I was a child, when I was like a dumb child, I hated cranberry sauce.
I didn't even try it.
I didn't like it. I didn't like how it looked. It would just be sitting on the table, just sort of wiggling in a bowl. And anytime somebody's knee hit the table, you'd be like, oh, it's just suspiciously wiggling in that bowl. It's not good.
And I got to tell you, the gelatinous jellied cranberry sauce from a can is light years better than homemade cranberry sauce.
So I began the process of trying to make the perfect cranberry sauce. And over the years, I think I'm getting closer and closer.
Really?
Yeah. I'll make it with a little bit of OJ to spruce it up.
Okay. Okay.
I'll
do you
even
like it tart or do you like it sweet?
I like it sweet.
I like it sweet as well.
I like it sweet.
Yeah.
So I make it homemade.
How
But
are you not in on this, Fletch?
I don't think I've ever had it.
I don't want to throw
Okay,
this cup of coffee
Hang
right
on.
at that window.
I figured it out. What we need to do, we need to bring something back. And it's a long time coming, boys. We need to start cooking in the studio again.
Cheat day!
Yeah, we have camp stove.
We have a camp
Can
stove.
we make a turkey?
We have a toaster oven that we can steal at any time, and we have in the past.
Yes.
We can make a full turkey here. In fact, okay, next week for our cheat day, is it Thanksgiving week next week?
It is,
It's
yeah.
Thanksgiving week next week.
Right.
We're
Bar
gonna
Cart
go
Wednesday
on.
next week, by the way.
Oh, Bar Cart Wednesday.
So
Okay,
guess
perfect.
what we're doing on Tuesday?
Thanksgiving feast.
We are deep frying a turkey in this room.
Guys, I'd like to welcome to the studio Dr. David Chow, Pro Football Doc, sixscore.com. Rich, take it away.
Okay.
Wait, we should ask Doc Chow.
Doc Chow.
Yeah.
Doc Chow,
Have you ever deep fried a turkey?
No, I have not deep
Great.
fried
You
a
should
turkey.
come. You should come by the studio next
What-
week.
what are you doing?
The closest thing, one time when I moved to San Diego, I hosted the family and I said I was going to make Thanksgiving dinner. I went to Whole Foods, got the pre-made package, and on the side, they said, no, that's cheating. You didn't do it. I said, look at the sticker on the side. Turkey not fully cooked, cooking instructions. And I showed them the sheet. And that was my proof that I cooked Thanksgiving.
This is why you're a doctor, because you're thinking you're like, we're all playing checkers, you're playing chess. It's beyond me how nobody ever thought to do that and to defend themselves that way. Doc,
In all fairness, when I was in residency, I lived with another guy who was a resident, and his girlfriend was over going to make us dinner. And she goes, "Does your oven work?" And I'm like, "Of course it works." And then I look at my roommate Joe. Oven works. He goes, "I never used it. I never used it. We've been living there 6 months. The pilot light wasn't lit. We never turned it on." And
gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't turn the gas on if the pilot light isn't lit either. Hey, Doc, You're cordially invited first and foremost to our Tuesday deep fried turkey cheat day. We're going to do that on Tuesday next week.
Sounds good.
And we're probably going to have our last visit with you on that Tuesday anyways. So it's perfect timing before the Thanksgiving holiday to come in and have a little bird breast with us. But before we get to all that, we got to talk some NFL injuries, okay? Because there were a bunch over the weekend, especially and probably most punitively to a couple quarterbacks. One with the Cleveland Browns, who played arguably his best half of football, and Deshaun Watson since joining the Browns. The other, Derek Carr, who's been a mixed bag of results with the Saints so far this season. Carr's got a concussion. Watson's got the high ankle. You've done this for a lot of years. What do you think is worse? A mobile quarterback with a high ankle or a cerebral quarterback who's going to spend most of his time in the pocket and has a hard time defending himself with a concussion?
Well, obviously, big picture, the brain's more important than the ankle, obviously. But, it's been an interesting year so far. So far through this NFL season, there have been 49 different starting quarterbacks.
Wow.
49 different starting quarterbacks. So over half the teams, right, have started somebody else other than the original 32. 49 right now. As far as Deshaun Watson is concerned, so much for the talk that he doesn't want to play through the shoulder because he has a guaranteed contract. I think we all saw him limping around. In the first half, I said, it's not a guarantee that he can finish this game. Not only did he finish this game, I think he was 14 for 14 in the second half and even had a key run limping his way through. Now he's in a boot. And we said he's got a high ankle. It's been confirmed now. But he played through, and he swears he's going to play this week. So I think that was a great come from behind victory. And I think he's killed any talk related to he doesn't want to play because he's got a guaranteed contract. He certainly did play through there, so kudos to him. As far as Derek Carr is concerned, look, you can't mess around with concussions. No two are the same. But we looked at the hit and did not think that was significant, at least to the shoulder, and it doesn't seem to be. He had an AC joint sprain earlier this year on that side. And without the bye week, I think it would be Jameis Winston as the 50th new starter for an NFL team this season.
Jeez.
But because of the bye week, I think Derek Carr still will be the starter for the Saints after this coming week's bye.
Hey Doc, Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, they've been looking pretty promising. Baker Mayfield gets a thumb injury. He doesn't miss a snap, but they're obviously talking about the thumb injury. Any chance he does not play?
Well, there's always a chance, but we don't think so. As much as we've hammered on Justin Fields, this is a huge deal, right? And multi-week, and now he's missed 4 weeks and, still hasn't returned yet. Maybe he's getting closer now. As much as we hammered on Matt Stafford, going to miss time with the olecratal ligament, we don't, and how important the thumb is, we don't believe Baker Mayfield will miss time because of how he hit his hand and thumb. When you get hit at your point of release, whether Brock Purdy in that Eagles game last year in the NFC Championship game, as he was releasing the ball, he really tore his olecratal ligament in his elbow because it was right at the point of release. When Drew Brees hits right at the point of release, this was well after the point of release when he's decelerating. So we don't think he generates enough force. And that's what we do. We do injury video analysis. We look at film like you looked at film, Rich, and look at what's happening here. And that's why we think Baker Mayfield will be okay.
Kyler Murray, Doc, look close to 100% for you?
No, he looked better than we thought. And the big thing is not just his knee, but he actually looked pretty comfortable in a new system. Rich, you know this. It's one thing in training camp to get used to a new scheme, a new coach, a new system. But just add water in the regular season. That's why we're talking about what Josh Dobbs did in Minnesota has been so special. Kyler Murray hasn't had that many snaps. Sure, he studied the new system, but he hasn't taken a lot of first-team reps because they've had to prepare Josh Dobbs and then Clayton Tune. Just add water. He looked pretty comfortable, not very rusty. I was impressed with his pocket presence and his arm and his feel for the game. He did run in a straight line very well, and I guess we should never doubt that. He did not cut up field on the right knee very well. He's not Kyler Murray, but Kyler Murray right now is more mobile than 75 or 80% of the league, I think. Not Lamar Jackson, but Kyler Murray is elite, fast, and quick. Now, he's not 100%. He's not himself, but he showed up well this week, no question.
How much better can teams get health wise during a bye week? I always wondered this, like when a football coach would talk about that, right? You know, they would bring it up, and then I felt like most of the teams I played on, I'm like, well, as an offensive lineman, our practice week didn't change, so it's not like they're like, yeah, you know, we're gonna take this bye week and get healthy. They would say things like that publicly, and then we would go out on the football field and we would just bang heads like we normally do. I'm just like, how much better are we getting right now? Like, in your experience, though, over the years of the years and years on NFL sidelines and in the training rooms and overseeing these teams medically, how much healthier can you really get with 1 week off from the football field?
Depends on the injuries and depends on the time of year. The bumps and bruises and nagging soreness stuff usually can be helped. Certain injuries are just longer term, and a bye week doesn't really do it. Like if the Bengals had a bye week early in the season with Joe Burrow's calf, which is now healthy, I don't think 1 week would have helped him. But Derek Carr with the concussion in the shoulder this week, I think the 1 week does help them. So, it's kind of like saying, Rich, everything is an individual basis. Like, oh, 4th and 1, analytics say you should always go for it. No, it depends on the game script and whatever. Hey, should you hit in practice in week 11 of the season? It depends. You as a vet, Rich, might say we don't need to hit in practice, but that young guy might need the reps and hit in practice. So I don't think there's a one size fits all solution for any of this.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're the solution, and that's why we check in with you every single week. Dr. David Chow joined the show as he does every week of the NFL season. You can find him Pro Football Doc on X. You could also go to SIC, that's Sports Injury Central, 6score.com, in order to find out all the information for your fantasy football and your betting this upcoming or current NFL season. All right, Doc, we appreciate the time. We'll see you next Tuesday for some turkey.
What time?
Come on down in the 7:30-ish range.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have the turkey in the pot.
That's right.
Breakfast turkey.
Breakfast turkey.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
With all the fixins. We'll see you in a week, Doc. Thanks. There he goes, Doc David Chow. And I need to tell you guys a discovery I made about turkey. But before we do that, I want to talk to you about Toyota. I own a 4Runner, awesome, reliable vehicle. You've heard me talk about this in the past. It was only car that we test drove or drove, period, where my wife was sitting in the front seat and she didn't get motion sickness. I don't know why, but it's part of the reason why we bought the car. And then once we did, we're like, oh man, why haven't we owned a Toyota before? It is easily the most reliable vehicle we've ever owned. Has never had a breakdown. I put oil and gas in it. That's all I need to do. Perfect for when family comes in town, extra stove space or seats with that third row fold down. But it's not just about the 4Runner. It's about all their SUVs. It's about all their cars and their pickups. They have great trucks. The Tundra, Fletch drives a Tacoma. It's absolutely unbelievable how reliable those trucks are as well. So whatever you're interested in, they have a style and a fit for you at your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Go to toyota.com to check out their full inventory. And also, while you're at it, if you're interested in saving on gas or going green, the Beyond Zero lineup of electrified vehicles is for you. Again, your San Diego County Toyota dealers is where you need to go if you're in the business for buying a car. Fletch, you have this face that you need to tell me something. You need to tell us something. What is it?
Buy a Tundra, first of all.
Yeah.
Secondly, TD is not going to be happy with the latest update from Kevin Acee on the Padres managerial search.
Okay.
I'm not.
No, you're going to be pissed.
We have a Padres update on the other side. That's next.
Kevin Acee wrote an article this morning. TD will not be happy. That coming up next.
So the number to dial is 844-570-1360. Very simple.
Forgot about that.
844-570-1360. If you want to win a family 4-pack of tickets to Legoland, California, you need to call right now. Okay, so you're going to be able to go for their holidays in the park presented by Hallmark Channel, legoland.com/California for more details. But caller number 5 is going to win that 4-pack of tickets to Legoland, California. So yeah, as Fletch alluded to, the Padres appear to have Phil Nevin, Mike Schilt as finalists for the position of manager.
Well, we didn't say any of this on air. This was just commercial break chatter. So here's the quotes from Kevin. It is not believed Benji Gill is in the running. Still, Nevin and Mike Schilt are widely considered the favorites, both within and outside the organization. There's a growing sense of momentum behind Phil Nevin as the process plays out. Go read Kevin's new article in the UT this morning for all the deets.
Yeah, so yeah, the slug line is Schilt and Nevin are really high up on the list for a lot of teams. So let's put it this way. The Padres need to get moving here. The Padres really need to get moving here, because the reality of the situation is the longer you wait, I mean, I guess the less time AJ Preller has, well, outside of Mike Schilt. Mike Schilt currently works as a special advisor inside the building, but the less time AJ Preller has to, I guess, hit it off with the new hire, because you really need to get on the same page after having a disaster of a relationship with Bob Melvin. And frankly, things soured towards the end with Andy Green. It doesn't seem like a good idea to wait much longer.
I really want Benji Gill in a mullet.
Benji Gill is our favorite candidate. It has a lot to do with Mrs. Gill, but
Carly Gill.
Carly,
if you're listening,
call in now.
Oh, right.
We need to.
Oh, wow. We're at the end?
No, I mean, but seriously, I guess Phil Nevin, they spoke with him last week, and multiple people involved in the previous interviews were not aware Nevin was even being interviewed. So I don't know what that means. Again, there's more details in the Kevin Acee article, but
it still feels like a smokescreen to me. I still feel like they already know who it's going to be. And it's going to be somebody who's a yes man.
Ryan Flaherty.
That's the guy.
Okay.
That's the guy.
Well, I guess we'll find out soon.
Yeah.
Question mark. All right.
858 on the money. 858. We have another pair of tickets we're giving away. Aztecs versus Long Beach State tonight, Viejas Arena. GoAztecs.com if you want to buy them, or if you're listening on the stream or on the radio. 858 is the time you call. Be caller number 2 if you want to win them.
Got to thank Doc Chow. Got to thank Ben Fletcher. Got to thank TD, the hangers, the bangers, the roadies, the texters. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Colin Coward and the Herd coming up next.